Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he is always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, how are you this fine Wednesday evening?
Okay. How about you?
What is that? Okay, how are you? I'm fine. What's that about?
Just saying I'm okay.
Tis, Grumpy. Tis. For welcome. We did not have our normal show on Saturday. I'm sure if you try to tune in, we mentioned it. Yes, we mentioned it last Wednesday. But for those of you who are new to the podcast, welcome. You were, I guess, you're first joining us right before the guys report back to camp. Welcome. This is a twice a week Islanders podcast that takes place every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new to the channel, we invite you to stick around a while. We invite you to subscribe on YouTube, to like on Facebook, and to follow on Twitter, Grumpy Old Man.
Yeah. If I had a Twitter account, that's what I would do.
You do have a Twitter account. What are you talking about,
Grumpy?
No, I don't. Anyway, we also do have a second podcast. It is an all sports podcast called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. That can be found in the link in the description below. It can also be found as a featured page on our YouTube channel. It's a podcast where we go live every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk all things sports. We talk football, NBA, MLB, college athletics, NHL, European football. We talk anything and everything sports on that show. Also, hey, football season's around. We got those nice football fan fights. Who doesn't love that? But make sure to give that a check out called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Again, you can also find that in the link in the description below or as a featured page here on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm all for that. So let's get rolling.
What is that bullshit? How did you enjoy your Saturday off? I gave you your Saturday off, Grumpy. How did you enjoy it, man? You do anything fun with it?
No. I was watching the dog.
Oh, boo-hoo, Grumpy. Anyway, today we have a lot to talk about. Lou Lamoriello spoke at the Business Alliance meeting at UBS Arena, and we'll talk a little bit how he said, he decided that the available free agents this year were not a great fit, and but not that they weren't unwilling to come here, just that they weren't a good fit. And what he decided to do, good old Lou Lamoriello playing 4D chess, determined to say, hey, since these guys aren't a good fit here, we're going to go ahead and drive the price up. It's like a guy on eBay saying, I don't want to buy this item. I just want to drive the price up. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that. which I think is kind of funny. We'll talk about Lou Lamoriello's comments on Aatu Räty and William Dufour. I'm sure, as you can imagine, he's ready to immediately thrust young guys up into the lineup. Oh, wait a second. Maybe not. We'll talk about how he wants to wait for those grapes to rot on the vine. Not saying they're ready yet. Don't try to misconstrue this. But he said he'd rather than be come up a little too late than a little too early as a young player, which is kind of, I guess, congruent to what he always says. And we'll talk a little bit about Matt Barzal's comments made to the press. They asked him a little bit about Barry Trotz leaving. Let me put it to you like this. It was not a glowing endorsement of how much I'm going to miss Barry Trotz, and I love him. I don't think so.
No matter whenever Barry Trotz leaves, no player says they're glad that they're, so sorry to see him leave. None of them.
Yes, Grumpy. But we'll also have a little bit of a highlight. I'll have a little highlight that I think you might get a little kick out of too. As a little bonus treat for you. I try to keep everything, Grumpy. I try to keep you on your toes, my friend. But what are you doing that for, huh?
You just got some type of smile, like a little Cheshire cat grin, like you know something that I don't know, or you just seem way too happy.
What can I say? I'm happy because freaking Grumpy, the Islanders report to camp tomorrow, Grump. And you're over here like, yeah. It's like you got the freaking seasonal flu or something. What's wrong with you?
I see you smiling and so happy. I'm just wondering why you're so happy.
I don't know what you're watching or looking at over there, but you seem focused. Grumpy old man is focused on something. Anyway, hey man, let's go ahead and start off, Grumpy. I won't delay. I guess what do you want to talk about first? I guess we could go ahead and speak a little bit about Lou Lamoriello playing 4D chess. I'll read the quote, and this is from the Blue Line Deli and Bagels. Got good bagels, Grumpy. Those orange and blue bagels. You and I had one in Charlotte at that meetup away many years ago, Grump.
It was in Raleigh, actually, not Charlotte.
Oh shit, I screwed it up. Okay, it was in. I thought we had one in Charlotte too when Mikey got some for us.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so Blue Line Deli Bagels. They said at the Business Alliance tonight at UBS Arena. Lou said it was the Islanders who decided that the available free agents were not a fit. Not that they were unwilling to come here. He said they all were willing to come here to the Islanders. And also, they drove up the price on other teams on purpose. Gotta love it. I mean, like, Grumpy, I just want initial reactions to that. Because here's the thing. I guarantee you, based off of what we've heard more and more about Lou Lamoriello, as I guess people are being more and more dubious of him and kind of keeping an eye on certain things. I 110% believe this is some type of bullshit, he would say.
That was the word that I would use, bullshit. That's exactly the word I would use. If anyone believes that, I can't help you. I got a bridge to sell you. It's like, please. Here's the thing. He failed in the offseason.
I think so,
he's
too.
Trying to say that he didn't fail. This is what he wanted to do. He wanted to fail. It's like saying, yes, I wanted to fail. I don't know.
And here's the thing. There's no way you can convince. You'd have to. I don't even like the type of convincing and the type of argument you would have to make to sell me on the fact that we couldn't find value in a guy like Johnny Gaudreau. A guy like Johnny Gaudreau, yeah, he wouldn't fit the team. He wouldn't fit the system. Sorry, guys. A guy like David Perron, yeah, he wouldn't fit the system that we play.
Okay.
He wouldn't be valuable for us. And you go down the list, there was not a single free agent that was valuable where he could fit our freaking system or play freaking hockey for us. Are you shitting me? Lou, there's no way in hell he could believe that shit. You know, it's like I'm getting those flashbacks where it was like Ledecky popped up on camera and had like that he had like he was being held at gunpoint. He was like, "Oh, we got the best general manager in all hockey. 4 Stanley Cups."
Okay. They don't fit the system. What has the system won?
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't fit the system. They just said they determined they were not a good fit.
Okay. A fit for what? Losing?
Maybe Johnny Gaudreau likes to drive under the speed limit. Maybe Lou didn't like that. Maybe Johnny likes to go ahead and tie his shoelaces left foot, then right foot. I don't know. Grump, your guess is as good as mine on that.
I lose respect for him more every day. He just should come out and say, I'm too old. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still supporting Fredo. He still lives in the basement. I mean, I need this job. I'm sorry. I'd rather he does. You know what? We complain when he doesn't say anything. Maybe it's better he doesn't say anything because it shows me that he's totally out of touch.
I was about to ask you.
He's just flat out lying to the people now. Just flat out lying.
What would you believe? What would you like more? Him to sit in the quiet corner and not say a word and act like he was freaking burrowing underground like Puxatawny Pete during the wintertime? Or would you rather come out and spew this bullshit that we know is just complete nonsense?
I would rather he doesn't say anything because then I can put words in his mouth rather than him saying something. I couldn't have dreamed this up, honestly. I mean, I can't even believe he even said that, honest. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it.
I could imagine him trying to rally and garner support. He was like, people have been maligning me out there talking about how we didn't do anything this offseason. He probably went through a slew of things he did do, Grumpy. And then he goes and says, no, it wasn't that, we didn't want, it wasn't that these players didn't want to come to us. It's not like the New York Islanders and the franchise as a whole haven't been able to garner a big name free agent ever in the history of its freaking existence. Never, ever, ever. It has nothing to do with that. It's more, we didn't want them. And what we did is when we determined we didn't want them, we wanted to drive the price up because we wanted to hurt those teams in our division. We wanted to hurt the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, you're going to pay an extra $500K. Because Johnny Gaudreau makes no sense for us here.
I don't know what they offered Johnny Gaudreau, but Calgary put a dollar amount of 11.5 for him,
So I don't really think it was as much.
and he signed for 9. So I don't know what the hell he's even talking about. He's senile. He's shot. He's mentally shot. The old man is finished. Put him out to pasture. You know what they do with old guys like that? They walk them out. You know what they do with them in Russia? They walk, we got Kasatonov and Fatiz. They just walk them out in the field. Boom, put a bullet in their head. They're done.
They take their driver's license away. They say, "Hey, Johnny, you don't need to be having your credit card anymore. We're going to take care of everything for you." And they've taken his access. They've taken the access away from signing free agent. Hopefully, they've taken his access away of trading individuals. You saw that we signed, Grumpy, a big time AHLer, didn't you today?
Who do we sign?
I'll pull him up. He's a guy who's going to really move the needle in the right direction. I think we've got ourselves a freaking Wayne Gretzky in the freaking works, Grumpy. Give me a sec. Let me pull up his name. He's a guy who used to play for Toronto. I want to make sure I'm not going to butcher his name. It's another one of these names that was. What did you say, Grump?
So he's signing guys from Toronto now, 5 years after he's gone. Okay, that makes sense. I'm surprised that. Well, I knew him from my time in Toronto 5 years ago.
Nikita Soshnikov. I hope I didn't butcher that name. Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares?
Nikita Soshnikov. He's a forward, Grumpy. Here we go.
Who cares?
That's gonna be a big time. That's a big time get for us, Grump.
Doesn't matter.
28 years old. He's primed to step into a big time role.
How old? 28?
28.
Oh, well, in another couple of years, he'll be ready to start on this team. He only plays guys who are in his 30s.
He's only played in the KHL for the last 3 years.
I don't know how anyone. If I was a guy on the Islanders, I'm like, I can't re-sign for a team like this when they got this fossil in charge. You know, I want to win. I want to win. Let him see. Let him bring Travis Zajac, Zdeno Chara, Zach Parise, Brent Gretzky. Bring all those Gordie Howe's kids, Mark and Marty. Bring them in. I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
Nikita Soshnikov, Grumpy, 87 games played in his NHL career, 8 goals, 8 assists. So we've got ourselves another bottom 6 freaking grinder, baby. We need another one of those players to help our team.
So in other words, he blows like most of the guys on this roster. Okay, that's fine.
I'd say so, Grump. It's just
he just needs to go. He just needs to go. They need to just, you know what you said. You hope that he took away access to this. They should take away access to him entering the building or his ability to use a phone. I bet he struggles with that anyway. He's got one of those little cricket phones. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I did it wrong. How do I shut it off? Boop, 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 boop.
I'm pretty sure cricket doesn't. It doesn't give you. It just you just click the button. So like he has little cardboard cutouts.
All the fucking, and everybody's talking. They're like, "Hello, hello, hello, hello." Oh my god, it's embarrassing. Corey Snyder. Why?
Because he's going to be crucial when we go down 2 or 3 goalies this season.
Parker Wotherspoon. I gave you my report on him. No, right? No.
Hey, we need depth to be a very competitive.
Nikita Soshnikov. I'm just gonna assume he sucks. Okay, I'm just going with that assumption. Simon Holmstrom blows.
Oh, there was a bold. Somebody made a hot take prediction, and all I'm going to say is this: after the Lou Lamoriello comments, well, let's actually jump ahead a bit because Lou Lamoriello, grumpy old man, came out and he talked about Aatu Räty and William Dufour, right? People are like, man, maybe Aatu Räty can get a chance. And we've been saying the whole time, no, they need at least a year to go ahead and get acclimated. At least Räty does at a higher level game. And I said, William Dufour is jumping from freaking the Quebec Major Juniors and is a subpar skater there. He's going to have to really work on his skating. He's probably at least 2, if not 3 years away, William Dufour. Doesn't skate well enough to be consistent in the NHL lineup. I see he's going to take time. Lou Lamoriello said this on Aatu Räty and William Dufour. If I had a crystal ball, I'd say they're not ready at this point. I'm of the belief that I'd rather have them come up too late when it comes to young players.
Okay. This is the salary cap era, you washed up old bastard. You don't have the time to let a guy sit down there till he's 25 years old before bringing him up and then lose him to free agency. You do not have that luxury anymore. I told you, it's not 1990 anymore. It's just not. This is the salary cap era. Younger players have to play earlier in their careers. This way, you can afford to get really good players on long-term on contract. On contracts for free agency.
Yeah, I was about to
waiting
say.
for guys, right? You have to be able to do that. Your young guys have to be able to play when they're cost effective. You can't wait until they're a year from restricted free agency or 2 years away from unrestricted free agency. You can't do that anymore. It's not the 1990s. The old man is done. Finished.
Well, somebody did have a
He's
bold
my
prediction.
whipping boy this year. The fossil.
Somebody did have a bold prediction. They said, hot take, based off of these Lou Lamoriello comments, Simon Holmstrom is going to see ice time in the NHL before Atu Ratu and William Dufour do.
Oh, well, that's possible. I mean, I figure Ratu, the way he's talking, that's probably 5-6 years before he's ready to play. And by then, Holmstrom will be with another team because he sucks. He sucks. He's the worst player I've ever seen.
Come on. He's not the worst player you've ever
He
seen.
sucks.
Dude.
For a first-round draft pick, I mean, Michael Del Cole puts him to shame.
I think you've seen other first-round draft picks that are worse than him, Grump.
Michael Del Cole puts him to shame. Simon Holmstrom blows. He's a no-talent hack.
I'm thinking there are other.
Joe. Bada bing 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 bing. Bada bing bing bing. Bada bing bing bing. Ding 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 ding. Bada ding. Bada ding ding.
I can think of other first-round draft picks you might hate a little more, Grumpy. And
Nelson
Ron
with
Nelson
the-
has a wide open chance.
Oh, yes! Come on!
Who the fuck didn't shoot that? Is that Bailey?
Bailey!
And handed
Bailey!
one over whether to
Bailey!
shoot the freaking puck?
Fucking Bailey. Piece of shit,
He
Bailey.
had the net wide open. He didn't shoot.
That's Bailey. That's Bailey.
What in God's name is he doing? I'm sorry, man. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. Vanacek is so far out of position, and he gets it wide open there by himself, and he doesn't shoot the freaking puck. Shoot! Shoot!
Ah! Let's do a worse than replay.
Shoot the puck!
Bailey. 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 Fucking Bailey.
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
Why is he on the power play? He's a drain on the Long Island Lighting Company. He sucks. It's true. I hate that Bailey. He's a piece of shit. Bailey. Bailey. What are you waiting for? An invitation to shoot the puck? Piece of crap.
Holy
Actually, I think that was rather mild and tame compared to what I really think about Bailey.
Are you ready for this year, buddy? Are you ready for another Islanders season?
I just know I'm going to explode. We're going to be out of the playoff race within the first month. We'll be out. You listen to the players. Oh, we're re-energized. Yeah, you know who says that? Losers say that shit. Hey, what have you improved since the offseason? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know why. For whatever reason, I don't know why there's always an echo when I play it on the screen. I'll try to get it fixed or play around with it so it doesn't echo going forward. But man, oh man. Thank you, Michael M, for sending that to me. I when I ran across that, I listened to that post game or pre-podcast. I was like, "Holy shit, this is going to be."
Isn't Tony Cheese like doing that? Because that's actually a good small.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. Tony Cheese also does where he does a clips channel of TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, to where if you're like, hey, I got to go ahead and find the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, or Islanders Never Say Die.
I'd like to watch something shorter than 3.5 hours.
Nobody says that, Grumpy. What are you talking
I say
about?
it all the time. Hey, son number 2 says it all the time. It's like, dude, what's with that imbecile TJ? I'm like, I can't get him to understand. He's not real. He's a little soft in the head.
Oh, hold on a second. This is what that is. Oh, here we go. It's called Islanders Never Say Die in TJ and Grumpy Old Man clips. And you can find all the clips on here. Oh man, we're gonna have to get Tony Cheese. Tony Cheese, Grumpy, he's slacking on us. No, I'm just kidding. Tony Cheese always does a great job on this.
Just
But
send
that's
him
where you're
that
able to
clip
find it.
because that's a good clip. Josh Bailey not shooting the puck, or that piece of shit, Josh Bailey, whatever. Bailey POS. I mean, that's all you need. I bet you as soon as you put down Bailey POS, think about all the things that pop up. Josh Bailey, his failure.
Oh man. Oh, there was one other thing, Grumpy, that I had to make. This is hold on. What do you mean? We going
I'm just thinking about how miserable the season's going to be already. We haven't even started training camp. Season's over.
Is that what you're concerned about already?
Yep.
Oh man, dude. Shit. I'm gonna try to make sure this plays well. I hope it does. Give me a sec here, Grump. This was sent in by D-Cut, Grumpy, and he happened to get, I don't know how he did it. He happened to go ahead and get the interview questions from Andrew Gross to Lou Lamoriello. And again, we're very fortunate that we're going to be able to get to listen to this. And D-Cut, and again, D-Cut may be jeopardizing his entire professional career. So, Grumpy, we've got to be careful on this one. But D-Cut did happen to catch Lou Lamoriello, or Andrew Gross asking a question to Lou Lamoriello.
Andrew, you're next. Andrew, take yourself off mute. Sorry about that. Lou, first of all, how was your summer? The wife, obviously Chris, the whole family, the grandkids. I hope everyone is well. Couple of things. First of all, could you explain to the fans how you drove the price up on Goudreau and Kadri? Terrific move. And second, is it possible that you got two of the biggest steals this offseason in Romanov and Chalowski? Great offseason, Lou. Terrific. I'm looking forward again to another season with you as the GM and your once-a-year press conferences. Thank you.
Oh, Grumpy. Hold on. I don't know if this is
Christopher. It's Lou, your dad. I'm a little confused here. The Rangers traded a prospect for a first-round pick. That's allowed? Call me on my landline.
Oh, there it is. So Lou Lamoriello did have a few leaks there. We got the inside scoop on a few of those items, Grump. I'll tell you. So,
Actually, I heard it was Lou Lamoriello.
Lou Lamoriello. There it is.
We don't want anyone to think it was Lou Lamoriello. It was Lou Lamoriello.
Lou Lamoriello from the landline. Oh man. Hold on a second. And
he's finished. He's finished as GM. Finished.
Oh, dude, it's bad.
If I was the owner, he'd be gone already.
Mike sent this one to me here too, just a second ago. I hope this one's good, Grumpy. This has got to be good. Hold on, let's take a look at this. Jesus, man, Grump. Hold on, I got to go back and forth here looking at the picture. Grumpy, have you gotten a lot older? Damn, Grumpy, this must have been in our young days. Look at that. Look how young you look over there.
I think
Grumpy.
I look older there than I do now.
Maybe you look more gaunt there. Who knows? Okay, hold on. Yeah. Let's listen to it.
He's got and you just watch the team just slough off him. Go ahead. We dare you to shoot the puck, and he just won't do it. If I was Barry Trotz, I'd come out there, I'd take a stick, and I'd smack him in the back of the head when he comes back to the bench. Listen to me, you piece of shit. Shoot the puck.
That's what you tell him, huh?
Yeah, you suck. You absolutely. I'd give him the bellows treatment.
That must have Grumpy. Who do you think that was about? Was that
about Bailey? It's Bailey, because he's really the only player on the team that I call a piece of shit. Is Bailey?
Oh,
he sucks so bad. He's terrible. Sorry, terrible.
Oh man, it's great, dude. I'm getting pumped up. I'm getting ready for the next.
I can't.
I want to bring in some of those freaking highlights to remind you, Grumpy, of what we got in store.
I'm getting too old to get so angry at that useless piece of garbage.
So I think there's only a few resolutions, Grumpy, we have. We either have Grumpy Old Man and teach you have to stop doing podcasts. We've got to go ahead and give you some sort of calming medicine, Grumpy. Maybe we've got to get you a shaman to calm you down.
Here's what
Or
I'm
Josh
afraid
Bailey
of.
has to be traded.
You know how you have plaque buildup over the years in your arteries? I'm afraid Bailey is going to be the death of me because some of that plaque's going to break off, fly up to my brain, give me a damn stroke. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen because of that piece of shit Bailey. If I die during in season, it's Josh Bailey's fault, and I want that motherfucker having his head cut off in the public square. I put Lamoriello on there too.
Oh,
Stupid old
Grumpy.
bastard.
Oh,
I tell you, the closer the season gets, the worse I feel about the Islanders. The
Is that-
offseason, we
hold
did
on.
nothing. We were doing 3.5-hour shows twice a week on nothing.
yeah.
On
You want to talk about
nothing all off season, nothing. Now it's getting closer, and it reminds me how bad we are. And it's not because we're bad, because like in the olden days we didn't have the money. No, we're bad because of the mental atrophy of the general manager.
Mm.
Come on. They used to call it hardening of the arteries. I don't know what they call it today. Dementia, paranormal activity. I don't know what the hell they call it, but he's got it all. How come Fredo is still down in Bridgeport?
I tell you, Grump. I am kind of getting a little bit like you, like Phil's facts. I know people hate when I say Phil's facts, but Phil's facts, he's like, man, you excited about the upcoming year? I'm like, I don't know about people reporting camp. I'm somewhat excited, but I'm at the same time, I'm like, yeah, no, not really. I mean, you're going to get some Islanders news. That's good, right? I mean, like you're right. We did 2 shows every single week for about 2.5 to 3 hours of 3 hours a show.
For
Talking
months,
New York Islanders.
months and months and months since their elimination till now.
To talk about a fantastic draft pick we were going to have at the 13th overall selection. That amounted to no selection. Then we talked about, hey, what are we going to do during free agency to help push this team forward? Well, that also matriculated into nothing. Then we talked about, earlier on we talked, who's going to be the new head coach? Are we going to go ahead and get a huge signing? Who are we going to get? Mr. Interim hire. So, at least there's going to be more.
How do you even explain the lack of doing anything? Honestly, any fan could have been a GM of the Islanders this off. That's what it was. It was, hey, go ahead, buy a season ticket. You get to run the team for the off season.
A Make-A-Wish Foundation kid who didn't have the ability to make any trades was sitting back behind there. My gosh. I tell you, it's definitely not something this is not the offseason you would expect from a 2-time General Manager of the Year award recipient in Lou Lamoriello.
They gave that piece of shit the award just because he's finished.
Oh.
They probably didn't even know any of the other GMs. Just give it to the old man. He's been politicking for it behind the scenes. Just give it to him. It doesn't mean anything.
It's amazing that he can even get to work every day. Again,
Really?
we're being a little bit over the top, but Jesus, there's no way anybody.
I don't think so.
There's no way anybody could say they're impressed. Again, we talked about the good with the offseason, right? At least we didn't dig ourselves further into the hole. That's the plus. That's the big plus for me. I think that's the big plus that we have to look at as fans. We didn't go ahead and say, hey, we're going to add additional aged veterans to long-term contracts. As much of it sounds like common sense, who would ever do something that drastically dumb? Our general manager did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Every year he's been there, he's done that. So the fact that he didn't do it this offseason is at least a plus.
He did it in the regular season when he with Parisi and Clutterbuck. Those were in-season extensions. Why? Were they going anywhere? Is there a huge market for a 38-year-old bottom line winger? Is there a huge market? Is there a huge market for a 34-year-old fourth line player who's injury prone? What's the market for those guys? Zero.
Can we speak about going anywhere? Can we speak about that, Grumpy? Did you happen to see who retired just a few days ago?
3 players retired. I just want to touch on one thing. I know why I'm so angry today, and I haven't been as angry all in the offseason. We didn't talk about Josh Bailey the whole offseason.
And it's great. We did
But
joke
now
around and say,
I
"Oh, do
see
you
a
think he's
clip, and all those ugly memories just come flooding back. I almost tried to black it out. You know what I'm saying? How you just kind of compartmentalize it, throw it, get rid of it, keep the anger away, keep the ugliness away from you. No, I see that clip and all the ugly Josh Bet. I can't wait for him to screw up game one because I know he'll mess something up. And you know he's going to play. You know he is.
Can we talk a little bit? You mentioned the guys who had retired. Can we talk a little bit about Zdeno Chara, who retired? Now, some of you, well, first off, congratulations on Zdeno Chara, a Hall of Fame caliber career. At the tail end when he played to us, he was miserable. He was atrocious, right? That's not the highlight of his career. It was a small blip on what was a storied and probably will be the only one of his type just because of the size that he played with and the physicality he played with. You're just probably not going to see a guy like that in the future. But can we talk about something? I want to talk about something that pissed me off. Do you remember how at the end of this last trade deadline, people went ahead, or Lou Lamoriello did not trade Zdeno Chara? Do you remember that? There were teams calling on Big Z. They wanted his services possibly as a number 7 defenseman to add more depth for a playoff run. Maybe we'd get a 5th or a 6th round pick. Who the hell knows? They wanted him, shockingly enough, as a number 7 defenseman. No, we had a handshake deal. We could not go ahead and trade Zdeno Chara. Do you remember that? Well, that handshake deal meant so much that he made sure to sign that one-day contract with the Boston Bruins before he retired. Why the hell was it so pertinent and important for him to be there through the remainder of the season? How the hell does that even make sense? What type of backward-ass thinking and thought process is that? It makes literally no sense. It's not like I wanted to be with the Islanders through the remainder of my career, so when my career is over, I wanted to sign a one-day contract with the Islanders. Of course he wasn't going to do that. I'm just baffled by the whole thing. Zdeno Chara didn't want to be traded at all this year due to the handshake deal with Lou Lamoriello. But as soon as he retires, he says, hey, I want to sign that one-day contract with the Bruins so I can officially retire as a Bruin. That makes sense. But why the F was there why was there a handshake agreement not to be traded or not to trade him? It makes no sense to me. None.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's not an old folks' home where, you got to live with these people forever. It's a business. It's a business. And the old man doesn't know how to run the business anymore. He's like a guy who owns the store. Everybody's robbing him blind. All the other GMs are coming in, stealing all the candy off. Oh, yeah, Mr. Lamoriello, can you get me that thing on the back shelf? And he's climbing up the ladder. I'm climbing. And they're just rifling underneath the store, taking all the candies, the bubble gum, the Twizzlers, all the candy. Reese's peanut butter cups, $100,000 bars, anything they got, they just rifle it. And he's like, is this what you want? No, that's all right. Can you go over there in the back? Then they go out and start dating his daughter and something like that behind his back as he's climbing up the ladder over there again. I mean, it's just pathetic. He's so finished. But here's one thing about Char, right? He signed with the Bruins, great. This is the same Bruins team who told him 2 years ago, you're finished. We don't want you back. You played here for 14 years. You can't do it anymore. Then he goes to Washington, finished there as well, right? Then he goes to the Islanders. He's the Rock. He's one of the best players. Look at how great he's been this year. If he was one of your best defensemen, no wonder your team didn't make the playoffs. I just, great for him. Congrats. No problem. But I'm just funny. It's interesting. The first team that signed him, maybe he should have retired with them. But nope, he wanted to go back to Boston.
I just don't understand the handshake agreement not to trade Zdeno Chara if he always had the intention to say, I'm signing a one-day contract to retire a Boston Bruin. Why was it so pertinent? That he had a handshake agreement with Lou Lamoriello? If all shit hit the fan, I don't want to be traded. How does that even add up? The last year of his career, he forewent a chance to win another Stanley Cup. For what reason exactly? I'm confused. I seriously am baffled. Last time skating up in the NHL, Big Z,
His
You want a chance to win a cup? You want to be traded to a cup contender? No, I want to stay here on the island. Oh,
Why
man,
not?
okay, great. Why?
Why not move back to Boston? His whole family was living there. What
He
the
has
hell?
real
moved
estate
there?
license there. Remember, Grumpy?
His family didn't move. They were all living in Boston. So what did it matter that you promised him to stay on Long Island? Why didn't you try to trade him back to Boston?
Good question. That was something I was confused about.
But
What
we
are we
had a couple
talking
other
about?
players. Couple other players retired as well. So I just PK Subban
and Keith
retired,
Yandel.
and Keith
Keith
Yandel.
Yandel.
And honestly, both of them seem like they've been tied for years anyway.
PK's going to make more money doing things outside of hockey, to be quite frank, with his podcast, broadcasting. He's got a good personality. He's articulate. He'll do something in that broadcasting. He'll do something in that broadcasting realm. He'll make a lot of money. And Keith Yandel, I mean, Jesus, he was just kind of towards the tail end, man. There's nothing else about it.
All I'll say is, whew, at least we don't have to worry either one of them coming to the island.
Amen to that.
Because those are the type of targets those are the type of guys that Lou targets, guys who are finished.
Well, I want to read a few quotes. Now, this was from Matt Barzal when he addressed the first day addressing the media, talking about Barry Trotz. They said, Barry was great. Not a bad word to say.
I already knifed him in the back to Lou at I'm not going to say it here, but I already took care of that earlier. Got rid of him.
Barzal
He was great. You know the best thing about him? He's gone.
Barzal said Thursday, but I think with coaching changes, sometimes you need a new voice. Sometimes you just need a fresh face. Ladies and gents, if you had any question or thought whether Matt Barzal was leading the cabal of Islander players demanding or requesting that Barry Trotz be fired, just read that second statement. That first sentence says, he was great, not a bad word to say. I don't know.
Barry was great. This is how it went. Barry was great. Not a bad word to say. But I think with coaching changes, sometimes you need a new voice, just a fresh face. I didn't want to look at that damn armadillo another time, hear him like a little freaking dog in my ear. Play defense, Matthew. Play defense, Matthew. Turn around saying, listen to me, you piece of shit. I'm a goal scorer. I'm an offensive player, you dumb bastard. That's why you're gone. The fact that you don't know that certain players have certain skill sets and that you need to make sure to change your system to fit the talent around you. Maybe that's why you continually want guys who suck because they can play in your system. I'm angry today. Can you tell?
I was about to say, Grumpy, this is here's the thing. You're the talent of the show, Grumpy. I will say that the show has been very enthralling and entertaining, for at least for me.
Okay.
I'm sure people listening think it too.
You know, it's funny because your boy Barry came out and said something, because what were we saying? I don't know, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, where we thought that the Islanders were too old, not good enough to play that grinding system, over an 82-game season. How many times did we say that?
All the time.
Okay. The Armadillo came out at the end of the season and said, the 56-game schedule, we probably played 48 playoff-like games hard. 82 was a little tougher for us to play that style, that hard grinding style. No shit. Like I said, it's not freaking rocket science. And if a couple of jabronis like me and TJ can figure it out, you figure a boob like Lou and Barry should be able to figure it out too.
How the hell did they not have a thought? I'm like, how did it never cross their mind that maybe this style where we play playoff style hockey, we can do that for like 20-game stretch in the playoffs. We could do that maybe for a 40-game stretch in a shortened season. I'm not sure if we can do that over an 82-game stretch. Did that never cross their mind? Not even once, you think, Grumpy? Or do they ignore it?
Then they're fools. If it didn't cross their mind, they're fools. And they don't deserve to have a job running a grocery store, let alone an NHL team.
Oh, there it is. But I will say here this, right? Barry was great. Not a bad word to say. And then you could throw but I think with coaching changes, sometimes you just need a new voice. Sometimes you need a fresh face. Yeah. Tells you all
what he really wanted to, this is what he really wanted to say. This is what he really wanted to say. Barry sucked. I can't think of one bad word to describe him. There's too many. But with coaching, we had to have a coaching change. We definitely needed a new voice, and we didn't want that ugly mug in there anymore. That's what he wanted to say.
I was about to say,
Not a bad word to say. And that's true. He probably had 50 bad words to say. Not a single bad word, 50 he wanted to say. But he said not a bad word, not one bad word.
you know what I think of when I see that stuff? Like when you ask him a question, what do you think he's going to say? Thank
Good
God.
riddance. I'm glad he's gone.
Just what do you think he's going to say when you ask a question like that to a professional player, a professional sports star? Hey, how do you feel about XYZ being gone? How do you feel about that head coach getting fired?
Ecstatic.
Man, I'm so happy. He was doing this wrong and that wrong. I couldn't stand that son of a bitch. Absolutely. They never say that.
This guy's costing me money with his idiotic rules.
Hey, Trevor Lawrence, what do you think about Urban Meyer being gone?
He blows. Look at how good I am this year.
They're not going to say anything. They're going to be like, hey, nothing bad to say about coach. We got this. We're working towards that. We're working towards this. Jesus, come on.
This
Not
is how
a bad word to say.
Now, he could answer it this way. If they say, what do you think about Barry? Who? He just should have said who.
Oh, I like that. Who? Barry? Who? Oh,
We don't talk about guys. We don't talk about things in the past. Who?
Oh, that's what they could say. Now, Grumpy, I am going to show you something that I feel like
It's going to make me angry.
Get a kick out of. No, you might get a kick out of this because we're going to show you this. We're going to jump into the ads and then we're going to get the comments. Grump, I did think you would find this interesting.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to play. Guess who this is? This is he's a current player on the New York Islanders, current or past. I'll let you determine, Grumpy, and I want you to determine
what position. What position are we talking about?
I'll let you watch the highlight, and I'll see if you can distinguish who it is.
It's probably Anders Lee. What the hell? That's Anders Lee. Look at the way his chin hangs out of the bottom of his helmet.
I was hoping you were going to do that little face where you're oh, man. But somebody, I don't know, somebody ran across it and gave it to me, and they said, maybe Grumpy Old Bam might like this highlight. And I said, I think he might enjoy it.
He's even slow. He's even slow in fast motion.
Holy shit. There was a whole bunch of the highlight. Oh, man. He kind of does move. That's kind of what I would expect he would move like running like. But anyway, I figure you get a kick out of Anders Lee in motion, Grumpy.
You see why he wears skates now. You know why he's not in any running events.
Oh, man. He moves so quick. He's so fleet of foot, Grump. Come on.
I figured it had to be Lee. I mean, who else played football?
Maybe Scotty Mayfield did.
Okay, no.
Okay, no, is what you say to that?
No.
Jesus.
But it explains why Lee's really not that good of a hockey player, because he's playing football for a long time. To be a really good hockey player, you got to play it for when you're a kid and work at it. Seems like, he's probably like in his 10th year of learning how to play hockey, so he should be playing like he's a 17-year-old now.
Oh, Grumpy. We do have ads today to read from DraftKings and Grumpy's favorite advertiser ever, Raycon. Grumpy loves his Raycon headphones, don't you, Grump?
Yeah, I sure do.
Oh, yeah, there it is, Grump. That's what I'm talking about. DraftKings today. The NFL action is in full swing here at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. With payouts bigger than ever, why bet on football anywhere else? To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game all season long. Once per game day, all season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. And when you place a $5 bet on any football game, that's promo code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes and the description for additional details.
Yeah, good one, TJ. Now tell me about my favorite product ever.
Give me a sec here. Your favorite product here is Raycon, Grump. And lately, Grumpy, I don't know about you, but I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on my Raycon headphones. Grumpy, I know you like to listen to all the music when you walk around in the neighborhood. You don't get sweaty ears or anything. You love popping in your Raycon headphones, don't you, Grump?
Yeah, oh yeah, sure do.
I've been listening to podcasts, though, and it's been great. One of the reasons it's great to listen to is because of the Raycon wireless earbuds. They do the trick. And Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever with optimized gel tips from the perfect in-ear fit. These earbuds are so comfortable, and they will not budge. Trust me on that. So when you're working out at the gym, you don't have to worry about you doing an exercise. Boop, you pop an earbud out. You don't have to worry about that. And Raycon gives you 8 hours of playtime and 34-hour battery life. Raycons are priced just right. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. It's no wonder why Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 50,000 5-star reviews. Again, I like the customizable sound profiles where I could go ahead and listen to what's going on, mute the noise out. I like doing all that. And again, the tap function, you just tap it on the side of your ear. It makes everything convenient. And again, I could do that noise isolation. I don't have to worry about listening to that, what's going on around me. But go to raycon.com today and use the promo code THPN15 to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's code THPN15 at buyraycon.com to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com, code THPN15.
Yeah. Good job.
There it is, Grumpy. I'm glad you finally started listening to your Raycon headphones there, Grumpy.
Yeah. Can I just I just want to touch on some of the other stuff that Matt Barzal said, at the NHL media tour in Vegas. He said, our team is built on defensive culture. We've had success with that. Okay. Reading the corporate line there. Now it's just finding a balance of maybe a little more offense, but still having that defensive mindset. Just know that the defensive structure, that's going to win you games, that backbone. Barry did an amazing job with our team the last few years, just installing what he likes to call that layered defense. Right? So he's like, okay, yeah, I hate that word layered defense. He hates it.
Yep.
He goes, Lane's great. Lane obviously was a player. So he understands the game of and the ups and downs. In other words, what he's insinuating is Barry, who was never a player, didn't get it. I think it's going to be good. Barry was great for our team, and having Lane as assistant, he had lots to say as well. As a group, we all have a good relationship with him, so I think it'll be an easy transition for our team away from that ogre and going to Lane Lambert.
Away from that armadillo-looking bastard, Barry Trotz. That's pretty much just saying, hey, I went into the office on exit interviews and said, please fire that piece of garbage. We have somebody in-house that could be better than him. I vouch for Lane Lambert is kind of what that sounds like to me.
That's right. He was a player. He understands. Barry was great. Lane was a player. He understands the ups and downs of the season.
Barry doesn't understand.
Lane understands. Barry, whatever. He doesn't know shit.
Barry doesn't understand that you can't beat us like you can't beat a dead horse. You can't play us 82 games of playoff style hockey during the regular season and then expect us to make the playoffs.
He said, Barry was great. He would have made Wayne Gretzky retire as soon as he was his coach. That's for certain.
Oh,
What do you think he would have done with Gretzky or Lemieux?
Jesus.
Nope. Sorry, guys. I know you scored 200 points, 198 points, whatever you scored. Those days are over. We're going to play defense. I don't care that you have the most points in NHL history. We don't play that kind of hockey here. But Barry, have you ever put on skates? You ever been on the ice as a player? No. Why should we listen to you? Lane, what do you have to say? You played you played hockey, Lane. You played. Do you know about the ups and downs? Maybe you should explain them to the guy you stand next to on the bench.
That was one of those things as a player. I never respected anybody who never played it. Sorry, just didn't. Some players are like that. Some players it was really tough respect level. Some players, it took a long time for me to gain the respect of somebody else who never did it. As weird as that sounds, it's like you just have that different connection that they understand what you're going through more because they experience the same exact pain and the same exact freaking wear and tear on your body. And when somebody doesn't do it, I don't know, it's tougher to be like, yeah, you and I relate well. Not saying I couldn't, but I was one of those guys who didn't warm up to somebody easy like that. And maybe Matt Barzal's like that too. And maybe there are other players on the team like that. Who the hell knows? I just know that he was done with that system. He probably hated the freaking term, just like you mentioned, layered defense. He probably had jokes about that and send like freaking group messages like, hey, Kiefer, get ready to have some layered defense at practice today.
Let's go out there and get layered, guys.
Something like that. That's exactly what was going on.
You want to know the music, what they were playing as soon as Trotz was found? Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch, the holy witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead.
He didn't have any bad words to say about him, though, Grumpy. Come on. He
Nope.
even said so himself.
Never had a bad word to say about him. He had 100, just not one.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Jeremy Ford saying, good evening, fellas. Happy Wednesday. I hope you had a great summer. Thoughts on Shoshnikov? He sounds like the forward version of Romanov with a deadly shot. Have a great show. Jeremy, my thought on Shoshnikov, nondescript.
Yeah. If he was any good, somebody else would have signed him.
He wouldn't have played in the KHL for the last 3 seasons. And he wouldn't have been a guy who bounced between the NHL and the A. He's a bottom 6 guy, and maybe he skates well. I couldn't even. I found out the first time I ever heard of Shoshnikov today or thought about him today was when he signed with us. So I really can't give too much in depth. I'll have to watch him play, but I'm not expecting much. Maybe bottom 6.
Maybe Bridgeport.
Hey, remember when we signed Matt?
He's gonna be a Bridgeport guy. They have 14 guys signed to one-way deals. He's gonna
Here's our Anatoly Golashev for this next season.
Maybe. All I know is Lane Lambert. If Lou says, yeah, you're gonna play him, Lane Lambert will play him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I see what happened to Barry when he wouldn't play a guy. Got his ass canned as soon as the season ended.
Matthew S. says, good evening, gentlemen. TJ time I see again.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is. And Drew L. said, I saw Phil's Facts get excited over us signing a 28-year-old AHL forward. Is this how sad the state of our team is? No, I didn't know Phil got excited about that.
Phil got excited when we signed John Sim.
No, he didn't. Come on. Did he really?
Did. Oh, yeah.
Or maybe he was being sarcastic, Grumpy. Phil does
I'm sure he's not.
Oh, he changed the background. He's got the little 50 of the Islanders. He took down the little podcast. He changed up the background of his little Twitter page. JT Sandagate says, hello, TJ and Grumpy. I'm sure Grumpy is wondering if Mayfield can fetch a second rounder or even a first rounder from a contender at the deadline after what Lundqvist got back in return.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If they move Scott Mayfield at deadline, he'll get him a first round pick.
A first plus.
I'll say a first.
I'll say a first plus. The guy is okay. When you're looking to add grit, not only is he add grit component, but he adds a guy who's a steady Eddie defenseman, which you need to have.
You know what else Lamoriello said in his presser? He said, yeah, we have $2.5 million in salary cap space. And, the longer the season goes on, the more that money is worth. He said the same bullshit last year.
Did he
and
really
he did
say that?
nothing at the deadline. Nothing.
Did he really say that shit?
Yeah, he said it again.
Oh, my God.
He's like, maybe he forgot that he said it last year. Like, oh, look at all this. We got this. Whoa, we're going to have money to spend at the deadline. Didn't do it.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be taking on bad contracts. No, I'm just kidding. Matthew D said, thoughts on the signings. When I saw Corey Schneider, I said, man, wow.
Much
Yikes.
ado
How
about
mighty
nothing.
have fallen. Was that?
Much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing. I thought Parker Witherspoon was probably the best of the bunch, and I don't think much of him either.
No, he's not very good.
Hold on. If you had to rate who you were more excited about, and we're all very, very low thresholds of excitement. Corey Schneider, Parker Witherspoon, or Shoshnikov. Who would you rank where, Grumpy? I don't have any excitement for anybody, but maybe a little bit for Witherspoon.
I think it's more exciting, like when you have belly button lint, than either of those three guys.
Ugh, belly button lint. Scott L says, "Hey guys, right on time as usual." Yeah. Joel said, "Our big moves: Romanov, Shalowski, and a 28-year-old AHL forward. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 New York Islanders."
How can anyone think that we're going to be better than we were last year?
All the players are playing with the chip on their shoulder. What we saw last year, Grumpy, that was not the Islanders, man.
Okay.
What we saw for an 82-game stretch, yeah, that wasn't the Islanders. Man, come on, Grump. That was just an aberration.
It was a team from 3 years ago.
Oh, there it is. Jake K says, "I got to talk about Barzal being on the 32 Thoughts podcast. He is a force to be reckoned with, both on and off the ice. Lou better take note." Ooh, what are you doing that? Oh shit, Jake. Maybe when you said that, I thought that I confused the two. I thought those quotes were what it was on the 32 podcast. My bad, Jake. He sent me a message about it earlier. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm up to date on what Matty B said. Okay, maybe I'm not. I'll have to look that up later. Nick D said, "DJ Grumpy, how you guys doing tonight? I missed you guys on Saturday night. Sorry. I missed your warning about Saturday night." Oh, no worries, Nick D. We're here. We'll be here this Saturday. Always. Oh yeah, 8 years, $12.6 million for Nathan MacKinnon in Colorado.
How does it happen? How are they ever able to do these things with the salary cap? How is it possible? Oh my gosh. How can they afford that?
Their team's going to have to go. Their team's just going to not be compliant, Grumpy. They're going to have to blow up the team. They're going to get barred from the NHL, Grumpy. I don't know, man. That's too big of a contract. What do you think where do you think that puts Matt Barzal if we give him an 8-year contract? Where do you think that puts him? 9 and change?
He's going to have to produce this year.
I was saying, if he produces this year, where does it put him? Around 9 and change?
Yeah.
That's what I think, right? Unless it's like, hey, he produces really, really well, and he looks really great in that system. Maybe I could see him maybe touching 10. I'm saying probably 9 and change. 8-year contract, I could see 9 and change for Matt Barzal. It's not a huge increase over what he's paid now, but in the same token, he's not MacKinnon. You know what I mean?
No.
He's nowhere close to that talent.
No, MacKinnon, they're both great skaters, both great creators. McKinnon's has a better. He'll shoot the puck.
I'd say MacKinnon's far better than Matt Barzal.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I think MacKinnon's one of those top guys in the league.
Yeah, McKinnon's got he shoots the puck. He scores more. That's really the biggest difference. He's a bigger guy. They both skate like the wind. McKinnon's more north and south. Barzal's, he's more like a slalom guy as opposed to a downhill guy. But MacKinnon he's not afraid to shoot the puck. That's one thing Matt Barzal needs to do better.
Skynell said, on NHL.com, they've got Varlamov and Sorokin as the third best goalie tandem duo in the league behind Vasilevsky and Elliott and Shesterkin and Halak.
That's fine. Vasilevsky plays, 70 games a year? Elliott plays, 65 and 20, whatever it is. Shesterkin plays same breakdown, right? 65 and 15. I don't know.
Halak sucks, but whatever. Goon says, would it be too far-fetched to crown Brett Favre the anti-Robin Hood? Oh, yeah. I wound up reading those text messages, Grump. He was aware. That bastard was, Brett Favre. I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't wait to talk about it tomorrow on TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Can be found in the link in the description below or as a featured page on our YouTube channel called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Matthew S. said, I don't know. I'm a little less excited about this season than in previous seasons.
Because we came off of a blasé season last season, didn't make the playoffs. Did we underperform? I don't know. We didn't perform as we had the 2 previous years.
We didn't overperform, that's for certain.
And we've done nothing to improve the team.
I was about to say, in years past, you could say, okay, we didn't do much to improve the team, but we're right at the cusp. We made it to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. You don't have that same. You can't have that same thought process this year.
Yeah.
Joseph C said, "It's good. You guys traded Varlamov for a first-round pick at the deadline last season. Oh wait, that was the Rangers who got a first and a fourth-round pick for Niels Lundqvist."
Got to be proactive.
Yep.
See, that's a GM's job. That's the GM's job. You have to be thinking a year or two ahead, not just today or what might have been. It was so obvious we were not making the playoffs last year. We should have been sellers like immediately. They chose not to be. So now you're stuck with the same cast of characters. Just 1 year older, just kick the can down the road to another failed season.
Frank K said, Lou, general manager of the year. He signed 3 Bridgeport players today. Shine up the cup. Oh,
Coffee cup.
man.
Coffee cup.
The coffee cup. John Whitty said 30-40 are better than Shesterkin and Halak. I'd agree. Drew L also said, a bit off topic, but apparently Aaron Judge is batting .380 since the All-Star break. Grumpy, that Soto take is looking worse by the day. Yeah, Grumpy!
So wrong.
Aaron Judge,
So wrong.
baby.
It's not about this year. Again, it's about years down the line. Soto's 22 years old.
Greg Brado, what's up, Greg? I know I mispronounced your last name. It's Prado, I think. I don't know. I'm going to fuck it up. Greg P. Says, TJ, how is your homework assignment coming along? RE, listening to 10 Van Halen tunes, watching Revenge of the Nerds, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. We will discuss upon my bold return next month. Yes, Greg. Homework assignment we've been hard at work, Greg. Hard at work. I have currently listened to 0 Van Halen songs. I have not watched Revenge of the Nerds, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Is that a TV show or a movie?
They're both movies.
Okay. So it tells you how much homework I've done, Greg. But now I've been reminded of the assignment. It's like when the teacher comes into the class, it's like, don't forget, we've got that big assignment next week.
You got Friday coming up pretty soon. Maybe you can listen to some Van Halen too.
Hey, if somebody can send me an 8-track, I'll go ahead and put it in there.
An 8-track.
JK says, tell me that Goudreau wouldn't be a good fit for this team. Whatever, Lou.
Yeah, does he think people really believe him? Maybe, I tell you what, maybe the Islander fans do believe that type of thing.
I don't buy that. That's just, I can't believe that. I'd like to think our fan base is smarter than that.
You'd like to think that.
Brian J says, what's up, guys? What's up, Brian? Emmanuel. So I got through a lot of the messages people sent me. I have not looked at any of the messages people sent to the Facebook Islanders Never Say Die page. I will be looking at those this evening. I know Emmanuel sent me a message too. Emmanuel says, good evening, gents. What's a positive that can happen this year that no one will see coming?
Something happens to Lou Lamoriello where he's no longer GM.
Not that nobody sees coming. Well, I think we've pretty much covered all the positive possibilities.
Oh, a positive. Oh, that is. Lou Lamoriello is no longer GM.
I thought you said that. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I'm like, we've already covered Oliver Wahlstrom takes a step forward. I don't know. Maybe Kiefer Bellows surprises. Maybe Shawalski surprises. Maybe one of those guys picks it up.
Shawalski's not going to surprise you. He sucks. Let me tell you something.
What's a positive that can happen this season that nobody will see coming? Grumpy, it has to be something.
Josh Bailey retires after playing 1,000 games for the New York Islanders.
Oh, I want to one-up you. Josh Bailey scores the fabled 20 goals in a single season. Josh Bailey hits 20 goals and leads the power play unit in power play points. Holy shit, ladies and gents. Under this new system, Josh Bailey will thrive. Lane Lambert will bring out the best Josh Bailey we've ever seen. And Grumpy will have to go on an apology tour, kissing the feet in the sand that Josh Bailey walks on, or kissing the ice, which Josh Bailey carves up.
Did Josh Bailey even take 20 shots last year? I don't
This
even know if he
system is
can-
going to be called, you know how they used to do like Little Giants, where it's like, what the hell? They had like get the ball to what was it? What was the play? Get the ball to whatever the guy, not the fridge. Who was that big Spike? Get the ball to Spike. It's gonna be
Oh.
like get the ball to or get the puck to Josh Bailey. That's gonna be what our entire offense is catered around this next season. Get the puck to Bailey. Shoot, Bailey,
Okay.
shoot.
Bailey played during the Doug Waite running gun style that we had and still didn't score 20 goals. 18. Sorry. It's not happening.
Oh shit. You know what I forgot to say earlier on in the show? I forgot
No.
to do something again. Grump, somebody asked me, and I was like, okay, maybe we can do this. People wanted to know, are we going to bring a fantasy hockey league back this season? We did one like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was a blast. But maybe we can consider doing that. People
That's
seem
fine. I
interested.
guarantee I won't have any Islanders on my team, not one.
If people are interested in a fantasy hockey league, let us know. It's odd because it's at the same time as fantasy football. But if you're interested, let us know. If there's interest, we'll make a league for fantasy hockey. I will say I have not played fantasy hockey in years, but hey, I'm down to play it if other people do. Frank K.
I actually had Jennis Chalowski on my fantasy hockey team a couple of years ago because one of them was time on ice. And he didn't do anything else. And I don't think there was a plus and minus category. So, the fact that he was minus 100 didn't really matter. But he was on the ice a lot for defenseman, like 24 minutes, I think, for a while. I don't know.
Frank K said, Lou and handling the medical marijuana. That's trying his brain.
Crying.
That's time you're frying his brain. Malkin, please sell. Since he doesn't know about the team, keep Lou. It makes him obvious. Makes it obvious. Keeping Lou makes it obvious.
Right. Malkin, please sell since he doesn't know about the team. Keeping Lou makes it obvious.
Yeah. Scott L says, what do you think about the McKinnon extension? And what might this deal mean for Matty B? I kind of spoke my truth about it, or spoke my thought, Grumpy. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. Put up another comment because we already talked about that. Oh my God, he leaves. We already talked about that. I don't think it has any bearing whatsoever. Barzell's going to, if he wants to resign, $9.5, $10 million a year, that's what he's going to get. And it'll probably be I would hope it would be for 8 years. Who the heck knows though, really? Let's see if we can find the next comment because I don't like how TJ just bails like that. Brian John says, have Pops fight Lou Lamoriello. Okay. Frank Kaplan says, Lou won 3 cups during the American Revolutionary War. He invented the Sugar Act. I like that, Frank, bringing a little bit of American history, which no one teaches anymore in schools, to the fore. I like it. Joe C says, think of the Islanders stole that BS from the Knicks and the Mets. Teams and players trying to use the team to drive up the price and have no intention of coming to New York. Here's the thing. As far as the players around the league are concerned, the Islanders are not part of New York. They're not even part of the NHL. No one ever signs with us. Matt S says, maybe he was one of the observers in the Boston Harbor as the tea was spilling. Probably was. And he didn't know what to do. He just said, okay, here's your pass to the boat to empty it into the harbor. He was probably a red coat. That's what Lou Lamoriello was. He wasn't American. He was a red coat. And Joe C says, can't see how they couldn't have done better than a PTO like Calgary did for Sonny Milano. Why not? If it doesn't work out, you just let him go. Jake says, it took Chara officially retiring to make me accept that he was not coming back to us. I can't trust what Lou says. That's just me being cynical, and maybe I'm just being realistic. Yeah, Lou Lamoriello is full of shit. Tommy Baffy says, good evening, gents. Good evening, Tommy. Matthew S says, Sostakov. Who cares? Brian J says, Lou is lost big time. 28 says, Lou is a disaster. D Cut says, Brian John, the two old Muppets. I like it. Tommy Baffy says, all rise for Judge. It is a Judge week. I would not give Aaron Judge a big contract extension. Absolutely not. Frank K says, has anyone ever thought that players won't come here due to the no long hair or facial hair rule. I'd never play for Lou. I hate the corporate look. I'm like a bit of an attitude look. F Lou. Well, you look at Frank, absolutely, he would not be an option to sign here. I don't think that even really matters, to be honest with you. I just think no one wants to play here because they just don't look at the Islanders as being winners.
Nick C says, it seems like the day off didn't ease any stress for you guys because we're starting off hot.
It was a Josh Bailey thing that set me off. Honestly, I just feel like we're going to do nothing. We're just going to be bad this year. I don't like us being bad. I mean, it's easy to do this show, but I don't like being angry all the time. I want the Islanders to be successful.
Let me ask you this. What are we going to do with the show if the Islanders have to go full rebuild and blow everything up from scratch?
I'll be more positive. I'll be more positive for certain, because then
we're gonna have to be on the opposite side. This is why you need to be optimistic.
No, but here's the thing. I always give a fresh, an honest take on every player I watch, in my opinion. You know, this team just isn't going to win anything. They're just not. I mean, you should have already started the transition. It doesn't have to be a blown up thing, but you should have been transitioning away from the older group for the last number of years.
Yeah.
Because it will get to the time where it's like, well, shit, nothing in the cupboards. All the old guys are finished. We're signing John Sim. That's what it's going to be like, just like the olden days.
Wade Flaherty says, Steve Simmons predicts the Islanders to finish 31st this year, right ahead of Arizona. I agree. This team is not doing anything anytime soon.
Wow. I don't think we're going to be that bad, but I don't think we're making the playoffs. I just don't.
And we got here from Joseph C saying, no way. The Flyers are by far the worst team in the Metro. They just lost Ryan Ellis and Sean Couturier long-term again.
Oh, I thought they said Couturier was going to be back.
Maybe he just picked up another injury. Let me pull that up. I can't tell you I'm up to date too much on Flyers.
I thought they were both coming back from being out long-term last year.
Maybe he pulled his Hyman again. Let me see here.
Oh, Tommy Baffy says Frank Kappa.
Hold on. What are you doing? Yeah, he's going to miss the start of the season, dude. Miss the start of training camp with an upper body injury. He's got a herniated disc.
Who does?
What's his face? Couturier. He's purportedly out long term with a herniated disc.
Bad news for the Flyers.
I'd say. I mean, like
they
shit.
missed him last year. I mean, okay.
What, Grump?
I guess it's a new injury for him.
What is that? That's like a slip disc, isn't it? In layman's terms.
Yeah.
Wade Flaherty says Grumpy secretly loves Simon Holmstrom.
Ugh, he's horrible.
Michael M said, I'm so glad I clipped that one. I am too, Michael M. It provides gold all the time. And that was the best. Laugh myself. The best of episode of TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Oh, man, wouldn't that be? Jay Clark says, hey, TJ Grumpy Old Man, can you get John Ledecky on the show? I'd like to know why Lou Lamoriello is still general manager of the Islanders.
My first question for John Ledecky would be, I know you said in Lou we trust. Dude, do you think that trust is misplaced? He did nothing in the offseason. This team got worse last year. What makes you think a bunch of guys who are closer to your age than your grandchildren's age are going to somehow be able to resurrect their careers?
Oh, man. How the Islanders 91 says Scott Sissons or Simon Holmstrom.
Scott Sissons is better than Simon Holmstrom. Simon Holmstrom is horrid.
The return of Jedi Rusty Spooner says, F Lou. Grumpy, you're awesome. TJ, be on time. Fix the echo. And let's go Islanders. TJ, you're awesome. To fam, gotta mess with the brother. But seriously, fix the echo. Okay, we're working on it. Nick D said, TJ, you need to put that fat head back up.
Yeah. Right behind you. The spot is perfect. Yeah, right there is where it should be.
Okay. JG said, you guys are on fire tonight. I love it when that means it's Grumpy's on fire. That's for certain. And Druel said, Grumpy, now do you want Lou fired as soon as possible? Or do you still want him to ride it out for the year?
I don't want him to I don't want him to be able to make any moves.
Correct. Especially at the trade deadline. I
Yeah.
think that they need to have somebody else. You are no longer in control of making those type of decisions. And if it does come up, right? If a decision comes up, you have to give us a call, Lou, before you make any decision made. I know that's not what they're going to do, but I would think that would be wise at this point. We're looking at the prior trade history of Lou Lamoriello. And trust me, it further dates back past the Islanders, that's for certain.
True.
The cohesive bear. I don't understand this image, Grumpy. What is this image? We need to try to determine it. It's a red X with a long, or like a folding chair on it. The cohesive bear.
I don't know.
Is this some type of metaphor or something?
I don't know.
What do you think it is, Grumpy?
I don't know what was in the cohesive bear's thought process with the chair.
What
No
a fantastic throwback from the best Islanders pundits in the business to Mr. Islanders, Josh Bailey. Missed you guys. Thank you, Mr. Cohesive Bear. Thank you. Thank you. Gross is the worst, says John Smith. Oh man.
That's an understatement.
Matthew said he sent it to me as well. He was rolling. Nick D said, do you guys think the team Nick C says, do you guys think the team would have been better if Bailey was taken in the expansion draft instead? If so, would it be enough to where we had made the playoffs? Him and Barzal had good chemistry.
No, it didn't matter. In hindsight, it didn't matter. They needed to bring someone in last offseason, and it still wouldn't have mattered because their defense, Lamoriello did nothing to improve the defense. He brought in old Zdeno Chara to play top 4 minutes, and he's been done for years. That was a mistake on the GM. Again, another failure from the general manager. Andy Green still playing. Another failure from the general manager. Not transitioning to a younger defense core till this year. Another failure for the general manager. We were Stanley Cup or bust. Well, guess what? You failed. The reason why we didn't make the playoffs was because you failed at your job as GM. Barry Trotz failed at his job as head coach. We knew it was coming here from a mile away. You could see it. And you get what you get. I mean, it didn't matter if Bailey left, Eberle left. They could have taken half the team and put them, have somebody expansion team take them. It wouldn't have mattered. Our team just isn't very good right now.
I think that we would have been better with Jordan Eberle instead of Josh Bailey. How much better? I don't think whatever the 19-point difference would have made that up. You know what I mean?
It was only 16. It was 16.
Oh, 16. I'm sorry. 16-point difference. Maybe we'd only be 12 points out of a playoff spot, or maybe 13.
It's true that Barzal had chemistry with Jordan Eberle.
Yep.
Nobody has chemistry with Josh Bailey.
I think last year.
Ask his wife. No chemistry.
Holy shit, Grumpy. But think about it like this, Grump. Last year, Matt Barzal, and I think that was one of the bigger points too, at least offensively. Matt Barzal couldn't find a partner to gel with. They tried a few, right? He was okay with Parise. He does not work well with Anders Lee. That's just freaking known, right? It's like water and oil. And they throw Bailey out on that line a few times. You got two guys who have a pass-first mentality with nobody who's got the ability to shoot the puck on their wing. You know, maybe it would have worked better with Jordan Eberle. I think we would have had better results, but I'm just not sure enough to make the playoffs in postseason. The Islanders 91 says, are the expectations higher or lower than the offseason that dickhead John Tavares left? That is honestly a good question.
That's a really good question.
Do you have higher expectations this offseason? It's tough to say. My expectations when John Tavares left were we were going to be a bottom 10 team in the NHL, no doubt. I was shocked. I was in awe. I was just enamored. Was like, holy crap, look at the success we've had. I don't know. What are your expectations for this year, Grump?
They're higher than what they were when Tavares left.
Okay. I'd say so too. When Tavares left, I was pretty doom and gloom, to be quite honest with you. And I think a lot of fans were too. I was very doom and gloom thinking, oh, wow, this just set the franchise back XYZ years, not really knowing what the impact of legitimate coach would bring to this organization.
I feel confident in saying that we won't have as good a season as we did the year after Tavares left. You got to remember, all the players now who I'm railing against being too old, well, that was 4 years ago. They were all in their later 20s. So it's like they were still young enough to perform. That's not the case anymore.
I agree. And Return of the Jedi, Rusty Spooner says, Wallstrom should be the future with Matt Barzal on the same line, working together 100%. How the hell can we all see it and nobody else can? But let's trade our draft for dinosaurs. WTF, Grumpy.
There should be no way that they should trade a first-round pick next year. No way. No way. We're not moving first-round picks. I don't think this organization can afford to move first-round picks anymore for the foreseeable future. Cannot do it.
What happens if let's say this, we're number one in the division. You're saying at the trade deadline, you're not going to move any picks?
No, we're not going to be, first of all, we're not going to be number one in the division. It's not going to happen. I mean, I don't know what you're smoking, but that's not happening. No way.
I'm just throwing out these hypotheticals, Grumpy.
Yeah.
Don't damn crucify me.
Did the rest of the teams in the Metro division disband?
Yes, they did.
That's the only shot we have, honestly.
Oh, man. And Michael M. said, the best of Grumpy. D-Cut saying there, the Islanders in the rags on Monday night. Wade Flaherty says here, I heard Bailey deliberately sucks just to piss Grumpy old man off.
I believe that too.
Return of the Jedi Rusty Spooner said, we had cups in the hand, and Lou bent us over. Oh, God. Adam Sandler, Grumpy. Adam Sandler joined the show. Grump, Adam Sandler. I didn't know he was a big Islander fan, let alone a big fan of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. He said, did Grumpy really say last podcast that Toronto was going to the Cup Finals? Really? Which goalie gets them through the playoffs? Dubas is a great general manager? ? By paying 3 players 8 figures and everybody else bupkis.
Those 3 players are pretty darn good, aren't they? Better than anybody we got on our team. That's for certain. I mean, Austin Matthews, pretty darn good. Mitch Marner, outstanding. Tavares, still really good. Got Nyquist. He's good. I mean, they're a good team. They're not a bad team. I think they learned what it took to win last playoff series, losing to Tampa. I expect them to be much better. And I called it during the regular season, TJ, if you remember. I said, I like what they're doing. I like how they're playing. And they took it into the playoffs. I just think they didn't know how to win. Now I think they've learned.
JK also says, official autopsy report, Grumpy died from acute Bailey-itis.
Bailey-itis.
An official diagnosis.
It's Bailey-itis.
Bailey-itis. And they say, Phil, here we go. 30 minutes
fatal.
in.
It's fatal.
Acute Bailey-itis. Paranormal activity, Grumpy.
Paranormal Activity. That was a movie once.
Jay Clark says, do you think Josh Bailey watches this podcast?
I don't think his mom lets him.
I hope he doesn't. Why the hell would he waste his time listening to what fans have to say?
Because he wants to be entertained. It's more than what we get when he plays on the ice.
Oh, shit. It's like, you
listening to this podcast is more entertaining than watching Josh Bailey play hockey.
Than watching Josh Bailey on a power play. I'll up the ante. It's more entertaining.
I'm just going to say playing, period.
I don't disagree. You saw that Joe Burrow. It was all over news. Joe Burrow uninstalls Instagram and Facebook or whatever the hell he uninstalled. I'm like, players do not go on social media because they know if I'm not doing well, I'm getting flamed. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
If you're a professional athlete, the best thing to do is stay off of that shit. The only reason we have social media is only for the show. That's it. It's the only reason we've got it. Joseph C says here, nothing is more boring than a team that can't score. At least a bad team who has offense is exciting.
True.
Do you remember that game where the Islanders were down, I think, 3 goals to the Detroit Red Wings, and Bertuzzi took that slashing penalty against Cal Clutterbuck, and we stormed all the way back to win in overtime? Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Clutterbuck sold the hell out of that damn slash, and we stormed back to win. That was an exciting as hell game to watch. It really was.
Yep.
Driel said, the only thing I remotely was interested in about this team was the rookie minicamp. I didn't hear a single report. Freaking fantastic.
True.
Frank, what's up? How are you? And Jay Clark also says, Loser Lamarillo has lost his mind.
He's shot.
Driel said, most people can't even drive at 80. That's the real kicker. Why is Lou still here?
True.
And then Rusty Spooner says, Lou is the shittiest general manager in New York Jets of the New York Jets past. That's a fact. 100 man.
He used to be good and when I say good, successful, when there was no salary cap and you can bend a guy over and not give him money because he had no other options before free agency. That's when he was good. Because he's like, screw it. I'm not paying you anything. I'm not trading you. You're just going to be here.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Those days are over.
Players have rights, Lou Lamoriello, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Got here. D-Cut says, fire him now, talking about Lou Lamoriello. Like I said a few weeks ago, let a new young general manager elevate the players, coaches, and scouts from now until July.
Usually when GMs or coaches get let go, it's towards the end of the year. You're seeing in baseball now. A couple of GMs lost their jobs in the last couple of days, and that's when you see it's at the end of the year. They should have already done it. They should have brought somebody in and just announced that there's a transition going on. That's what they should have done. Just let Lou sit there, teach the kid the ropes, how to use a Rolodex, all that shit that he knows that, modern people don't. How to use that cricket phone, all that stuff.
Frank says, there was a market for Cal Clutterbuck and Parise, cheap battle-type players, good for the playoffs. Absolutely.
Then move them.
D-Cut says, let's hope Andy Green is the next to retire. One less option for Lou to sign. Could you imagine him signing?
I cannot imagine it.
Oh, John Smith said, I'm worried that we haven't seen or heard anything from Andy Green. Holy shit. Okay, somebody else is also worried about Andy Green possibly not retiring. Could you imagine us bringing him back for one more year?
No.
And him starting in reality, you're going to have Robin Salo and Sebastian Aho fighting it out for the number 7 defenseman. Can you imagine that? Just picture it. Andy Green.
And Dennis Cholowski.
Oh, yeah, Dennis Cholowski too. Yeah. Holy
Aho's going to be up.
Green.
Aho is going to be up with the team. He's going to be up. For certain, he's on a one-way deal. They're not sending him to Bridgeport.
Frank, Grumpy, I'll let you read that comment.
Agreed, TJ. I wanted to trade Chara and Clutterbuck for picks, and we couldn't, and we could have gotten back. Yeah, we could have got something back. I mean, here's the thing. Just because you get a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick doesn't mean you can't package things to move up in the 4th round. That's what I'm saying. If you find somebody, oh, hey, this is the guy we really like, we don't think he's going to make it, you trade for us, if you want to get in a 3rd row, you trade a 4th and a 5th and move up into the bottom of the 3rd round. Those are the type of things you do. That's why you accumulate extra draft capital, so you can move up and down the board. Not like the fossil. We don't need these picks.
We don't need those picks, Grumpy. D-Cut says, TJ, let all the fans know where they can purchase the merch. You're an awful salesman. I'm not a salesman, D-Cut. But we got here, that's right, the Islanders Never Say Die merchandise. Link in the description below. You can find Enemy of the Cartel. You could find the Bavarian the Vets. I don't know. Maybe we'll take that one down sometime. You can find the Grumpy's Groupie shirt. And you can find the Maddie and the Jag shirt. All in one spot.
I think we should have another shirt, too.
What is he going to say on it?
Islanders Never Say Die podcast, the logo. Pop it up. That one would sell.
Ugh.
Maybe.
You really think so?
I'd wear it.
You wear all the shirts.
I know, but I wear that one too.
Look how pale you look right here, Grumpy. Look at that. That's kind of accurate. That's kind of accurate to your actual skin tone. The grumpy, pale old man. Oof. And Jedi Rusty Spooner says here, how's Lou going to try to sign out of retirement now? Shaking my head. Let's get Yager. He's still playing. Yager is the man. And much respect as an NHL Terminator. But Lou certainly can go kick rocks.
I just can't get over. I just can't get over how he said we were trying to drive the price up on players. No one even listens to you. No one wants to play for your sad ass organization.
A guy who once used to be probably a tyrant out in NHL general manager communities is now laughed at, scoffed at, giggled at, kind of like, okay, Lou. Everybody goes and friends. Can you believe this antiquated fossil told me this? Yeah, absolutely not. Jay Clark says, who is Grump kidding? He has a picture of Josh Bailey next to his bed.
Oh, actually, I have it on the mat as I go to enter the house. I wipe my feet on them.
I'll let you read that one from Mookie Betts or Grumpy.
I'm picturing 80s Grump. Mustache, check. Mullet, check. Dad jeans, no check. White Nike high tops, no check. I did not wear high tops. Enjoying a ham and swish from Bagel Boss. No, I don't like cheese. Before it went kosher and driving down Merrick Avenue.
Hold on. You don't like cheese?
I don't like Swiss cheese.
You don't like cheese? What's wrong with you?
I don't like Swiss cheese.
Why not?
Listening to Debbie Gibson, absolutely not. On his way to the Coliseum to watch his Dynasty Isles, that was true.
And can we get more 80s Grumpy's picks, Grumpy?
I have a whole bunch of pictures I still have to go through, and I'm sure there are pictures of me in a younger stage back then.
Hold on. We need to get back to you not liking freaking Swiss cheese. What's wrong with you?
I don't like Swiss cheese.
How do you eat like a Philly cheesesteak?
I get it without cheese.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't eat Philly's cheesesteaks often.
I don't
Like,
either.
they're like steakums. It's like freaking steakums on a sandwich.
When you eat a hoagie, what type of cheese do you
I
put on?
personally don't eat hoagies. I don't do that stuff anymore.
You don't do that stuff anymore. What do you eat, Grumpy? Hold on. You don't eat a sandwich. You don't eat a hoagie.
Correct.
What do
I
you
can't
eat for
remember.
lunch?
I cannot remember the last time I had a hoagie. I'll have a protein drink for lunch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Me and the warden don't need anything over here. Our refrigerator's barren.
Oh, man. Why don't you go
As a
out
matter
there?
of fact, our refrigerator looks like the Islanders prospect pool. There's nothing in there.
Grumpy, I've got a homework assignment for you, okay? We need to get you actually eating food. You're going to have to go to the store, get yourself a loaf of bread. You can get one you got to carve each piece out of. I like those ones. I get some ham.
Why would you not get bread that's already cut? What kind of idiot goes out and doesn't get bread that's cut?
Fresher bread that way, Grumpy. Fresher bread.
Oh, my God.
Just like Grandpa liked to do it. You get it like that, and you go ahead and get yourself your meat. I cut the meat fresh too, and I cut the cheese. I cut some sharp cheese fresh or some Swiss cheese fresh, and you cut the cheese fresh too. You use different knives for every single one, so no cross-contamination.
All right.
You put it on a grill press, Grumpy, and beautiful. You need to go ahead and get yourself eating something.
You eat
Protein
ramen,
shake.
noodles, and hot dogs. What are you eating tonight? Ramen and hot dogs?
No, I did one of those things where I bought one of those half chicken breasts earlier on, or chicken breasts earlier on this week.
Paige must not be in town. You're buying yourself good food.
The lovely Paige is not around tonight. So
Is that why you're
this would be-
smiling? Is that why you're so happy?
Yeah! Woo! There it is, Grumpy.
It's party time.
It's party time. The bachelor life, Grump. But you got to start eating food, dude. And I don't know how the hell you don't like cheese. What's wrong with you? You need help, Grump. Does the word know you don't like cheese?
Yeah, she knows. Believe
You
me.
eat okay when you eat a meatball parm or like a chicken parm. what do you-
Parmesan cheese. It's not Swiss cheese. There are different types of cheese.
Christ!
I don't like Swiss cheese.
Ugh.
I like Parmesan cheese. I just don't like Swiss cheese. I don't like American cheese.
Mm.
The only way I
You
like
like
American cheese is on a grilled cheese sandwich. But I
I
haven't
like
had a
grilled
grilled
cheese.
cheese sandwich since, gosh, I want to say 40 years.
No, Grandma made you grilled cheese sandwiches before 4 years ago. Get the hell out of here. She was over your house when you used to be. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Bullshit.
I wasn't eating grilled cheese sandwiches. She make them for you.
No, bullshit. Jedi Rusty Spooner says, Matt Barzal. Brian Jennings says, hey, boys, just curious. I know Barzal says he wants to remain an Islander. When is an extension going to happen? I don't assume until after the end of this year or maybe halfway or 3/4 of the way through the season.
Why be proactive like every other franchise? in
Why,
the
if
NHL?
Matt Barzal and his agent thinks he's worth a certain dollar, and Lou Lamoriello does not because he hasn't performed under a freaking stifling Barry Trotz system, why would they take this lowball offer? Why would Lou Lamoriello offer him a high offer when Barry Trotz's system prevented him from scoring points? There's a lot of ifs in there, so I don't see there being a way that it could be signed early. Sorry. Drew
Like I said,
L
it's
says,
not 1990. It's not 1990. It just isn't.
Grumpy, I think it'd be the best to take some CBD gummies for this podcast. You're only giving more. You're only giving even more.
You're only aging even more when you get angry.
If I can read, that would be nice too. You know what those CBD gummies are, right, Grumpy?
They're like, yeah, man, like get you stoned, right?
Yeah, Grumpy, there you go. Why don't you go, Grumpy, why don't you eat some CBD gummies?
Yeah, maybe I should.
Oh, there you go. Michael Watts says, can you touch on Barzal Trotz locker room argument you heard about? I believe you had a reliable source that vouched for it. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Grumpy, would you want to talk about that?
There was a screaming match in the locker room.
Shit, I got to piss again. I'll be back.
Are you kidding me?
I got to piss again, Grump. What can I say? I got to piss. I drink water, so I got to piss. I also eat cheese. What can I say? I do things that normal people do. Drink water, take
Just
pisses,
go.
eat cheese. I do normal things, Grump.
Pathetic. You don't. I'll tell you what. It's not normal when you got to pee like twice in an hour. I'm sorry. That's not normal. Yeah, there was a screaming match in the locker room between Trotz and Barzal when Barzal only wound up playing, I think, 11 minutes one night or 12 minutes. And they just went at it. And that was when, if you remember, Trotz was continually calling out Barzal, saying he's not doing this, he's not doing that. So he's cutting his ice time. And they went, and Barzal, from what I was a one-way street conversation. And then after that, you never heard boo from Barry Trotz saying anything negative about Matt Barzal the rest of the year. Just didn't happen. And I think that's what kind of expedited his departure, to be honest with you. I think that Barzal had no use for him after that. It's so obvious that he only calls out certain players. And that's not conducive to having a healthy locker room environment. It's just not. Maybe if you got all the old players that you're not getting called, they're not going to say anything about it, right? Your Anders Lees, your Josh Baileys, your Brock Nelsons, just run down the list of guys in their 30s. But the younger players, they notice. It's like I said, if a stupid old bastard like me can figure it out, that the only guys he ever calls out are the Wallstroms, the Bellows, the Barzals, the Dobsons, and he doesn't call out any of the older players, believe me, they're smart enough to figure it out too.
There it is, Grumpy. Yeah, would you cover all the points?
Pretty much. Locker room
Barzal.
blow up. Because that was the game. I think he played like 11 or 12 minutes.
And them shitting on him in the media all the time.
Yeah.
And he always used to shit on Matt Barzal, and it was like overnight it stopped. I was like,
never again. Never a nasty word came out of his mouth.
Matt Barzal could take 3 freaking penalties and have 6 turnovers.
Never said anything.
He used to mention him by name. And he was like, mum's the word. Drew L said Barzal was like, thank God that Goomba. Goomba. What the hell is it? Goomba. Goomba.
It's not Goomba. It's Goomba.
Goomba.
It's Italian. Okay, you Goomba. Forget about it.
Like Goomba. Grumpy Goomba is one of those characters in Super Mario.
Pathetic.
Brian J said, I believe JT leaving was largely the reason the Islanders had success in Barry's first season. What a situation to rally around. Absolutely.
I do think it helped.
Us against the world was legitimate there. I don't think we have that same mentality.
True.
D-Cut says, the chin.
The crimson chin.
He's got it.
Tough walking around with a big ass chin jaw like that.
He probably doesn't even notice. Jedi, Rusty Spooner says, think of the time we're starting to point out.
It's time we start pointing to our owner. How's he getting a free pass? And that's kind of where we're at now. It's right. I mean, here's the thing. Ownership, I believe, has given Lamoriello freedom to do whatever he wants. They're not afraid to spend money. But at some point in time, you have to say, dude, you've done absolutely nothing. Nothing. And what do we have to show for it? 5 years of nothingness. never winning a division title, never winning a conference championship, never winning a cup. You've had 5 years. You've made no moves.
Apex Legend says, "Your Grumpy Old Man, how do you see Barzal bouncing back with no wingers?"
I think it's going to be tough. They're going to have to give him some guys who can score. Barzal, Wallstrom, Bellows, not the same cast of characters they've been rolling out for years and years. Somebody who fits with what he does. Bellows, I'm telling you what, Bellows showed chemistry with Barzal. It helped that Eberle was on the other wing, though. I think if you have Bellows on the first line playing in left wing, you got to go with Palmieri on the right. If you have Beauvillier on the left, maybe you go with Wallstrom on the right. It has to be some type of mix, though.
Patrick Guppy. We got here. Drew L says Raycon headphones are so good. I used to own a bunch of pairs before I either lost them or dropped them. Highly recommend them though, and they have some of the best sound out there on the market.
There you go. Rousing endorsement for Raycon headphones.
Scott L said Grumpy sounds so convincing on that Raycon ad.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh man, TJ sold Grumpy complimentary earphones.
That's right. You sold my complimentary earbuds.
That
TJ does that stuff all the time.
Oh, bullshit.
True.
And then Frank said, "I wish we could talk to some Maple Leafs fans and management to get info on how Lou was viewed by management, fans, and everybody. I know in the end they didn't let him make big moves. I believe, yeah, they didn't let him do anything. They neutered him. They took all his ability to do anything away.
Sounds like a smart plan.
Absolutely. Don't smoke crack." Says Grumpy doesn't look like he worries about his earbuds falling out at the gym. Go, Grumpy, because you're not going to the gym. Holy shit, Grump. Got to get to the gym, Grumpy. I got a comment here from, Frank says, "Damn it, Judge." Joseph C says, "You have a great radio voice, TJ. It's a shame you can't get through a few written sentences without messing up multiple words." That is true. That is true. It's tough. It's like one of those guys where they said he's $1 million athlete with the 10-cent brain.
Oh, wow.
He's got a voice. He's got $1 million voice, but he can't read. Frank says, TJ, it's because TJ reads from a phone. No, when I read ads, it's on my computer. Trust me.
Here's the thing. You should have taken the out right there. I would.
I could have, but it's, I kind of lie. What's the point? I don't give a shit. Jedi Rusty Spooner says, "Layer defense sounds like a bunch of people taking stockpiles of shit in a porta potty. Layer it all you want. Still smells like shit and looks like shit."
Yep.
Yeah, Drew says, "I know everybody says TJ honestly has a radio voice. I think he would be a good voice actor if he tried."
I believe so as well.
I can't read. Yo no hablo inglés.
If that's all you did was read, you'd be able to read better.
Perhaps. And
sometimes I think you're doing so many things over there, juggling so many things that you just.
I kind of half pay attention. D-Cut says Trotz played, crying faces.
Yeah.
Did he play at the NHL level though?
No.
I was about to say
he doesn't know about the ups and downs of the season like Lane Lambert.
Per Matt Barzal.
And he didn't have to throw Barry under the bus. He just said why Lane Lambert's better. That's all he did. I can imagine that. It's like, how about you get have you lazy ass ever played at the NHL? Do you know what it's like going up and down the ice at a high level, Barry? I don't want to ever hear my name. You keep my damn wife's name out your mouth.
It's you keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That's what the saying.
We should just put that up and say that's Matt Barzal. Will Smith playing Matt Barzal and Chris Rock was playing Barry Trotz.
It's a joke. Frank says, "Glad we have Lane Lambert. He'll take good form. He'll
take the good from Trotz and not the bad, like Grumpy Old Man said he played."
Declan says, "How about the Fantasy Football League? We got it. We've got the Fantasy Football League. It's going. Was that?
Declan's in that league.
Absolutely." Brian B says, "Evening all." Grumpy, who is that Brian B?
My brother from another mother. He's got the new picture up there looks like he's living it up in the sun.
There it is, man. There it is. Christopher C says, Grumpy, question for you. Why is the NHL built on speed? Why are rules changing year after year after year? There's no purpose behind it.
There is a purpose behind it. The NHL wants more eyeballs on their TV sets watching their product. That's what they want. Why? Because when they go to renegotiate the next contract with ESPN or, whoever, TNT, they say, oh, look at how the ratings are up. People want to watch this product. It's more exciting. It's must-watch TV. They get more money from those TV stations, which increases revenues. That's why. That, in a nutshell, that's why they want more scoring. They want more exciting play. That's why the rule change has been coming in for the last, 5-10 years.
Yeah. That's why they first introduced that damn that trapezoid behind the net too.
I don't think the game is as good, but I'm a hockey purist, right?
I like seeing fights too.
I like seeing the physical play. They've just eliminated that. Maybe they had a focus group who said, "Oh, we don't like the fights. No fights. Oh, it's too rough, too violent. We don't want that. I can't watch. I won't let my children watch that." No, I mean, I say it every single time. Those same people, you bring them to a live game. As soon as this hockey fight starts, they're up on their feet screaming. Everybody does.
It might inspire, so they might draw inspiration to conduct a little bit of a fan fight on their own if they see a hockey fight.
But the lack of physicality means that more highly skilled players, smaller players, are able to contribute at the NHL level. Well, that wasn't the way it was, unless you were supremely talented, 15, 20 years ago. Just little guys had no spot in the league.
D-Cut says, go watch the Lou and Lee interviews. That spineless, gutless midget, gross, is chewing gum like a horse. How the hell could you ever chew gum when you're over there going to be asking questions? I don't give a shit how bad your breath smells, brother. Spit that gum out. Could you imagine me on this podcast? Spit that thing out. Get that thing out of your mouth. Jay Clark says, Corey Snyder is Fredo's godfather. Well, that explains it, Grump.
Go ahead.
I thought you were going to keep going. I was looking forward to it. Grumpy, the warden loves when you do that whistle. Why don't you go up there?
She's tried to ban me from whistling in the house. It's funny. Certain things drive her crazy. Like if I clap.
Okay, no. You clap like a freaking heathen.
Yeah, like that little.
Why don't you do a full on clap and wake the warden up? Why don't you do that? She'll like that. No, wake her up to one of those stupid monkey claps, huh? Frank says, I like our team. We'll make the playoffs. It's not about making moves. It's about winning. Well, I think we could make the playoffs, but I don't know. There's a lot of ways that we could not make the playoffs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And we have to have a lot of things that have never happened before in the history of the franchise happen for us to make playoffs.
Don't Smoke Crack says, Shoshnikov is the answer. Finally. Somebody to skate with Barzal.
Doesn't sound like he has really good hands, though.
Steven S. What's up? He says, go back to last stream. I agree with your take on the Milwaukee Milkman logo, Grump. It's more of a shoulder or a sleeve patch logo. They should have used their mascot, Bovine, as their main primary logo.
Oh,
we have to look it up tomorrow.
A cow?
Bovine.
You really want a cow on your...
I thought it should legitimately be like a guy holding the milk. Like a carrying the milk. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, it's not good.
Frank says no char or green to weigh us down. Well, here's the thing. We cannot verify there be no green. He hasn't retired yet.
Green will not be back.
With a more offensive coach who knows defense, and all of our forwards are going to score 20 to 30% more.
No. No.
Oh, my goodness. D-Cut thinks 8 by 9 million. I'd be happy if Matt Barzal signed an 8 by 9 million. Absolutely.
This is a big year. This is a big year for Lane Lambert and Matt Barzal and Lou Lamoriello.
Big years around, that's for certain. Steven, I said I'd even take Los Cheros' logo they did last year. The colors remind me of the San Diego Padres City Connect jerseys. Jay Clark says Matty B will get 8 years by 9.75 by 8 years.
Maybe he just signs a 1-year tender and waits to see if the salary cap goes up. You can
Why
do that
wouldn't you?
too. But
Yes.
I mean, if you're a GM, do you really let that happen?
Do you roll the dice on that?
I'll tell you what.
Could you imagine the fan base
Ugh.
if he signs a 1-year contract this year and somehow Lou is still at the helm? Could you imagine Lou being at the hold on, let's talk about worst case scenario. Lou's somehow been extended. They don't want to let Lou leave. Lou is so valuable and pertinent to this team's success and a franchise success. And he says, we're going to give him a 1-year contract. We're going to give you that 1-year contract. That's it.
I can't see that happening. I can't see it happening.
Oh. And then Stephen, I said, before I go, I almost forgot to ask you, Genesis, this question about today. Do you remember? Oh, I don't know what that means. Sorry. I can't read. Mookie Betts said,
I'm going to say no to that because I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, I'm sorry, Stephen. I don't remember. My brain's fried. Mookie Betts says here, thoughts on the Senators signing Michael Doug Cole to a PTO. This is why I don't agree with Grump's obsession with draft picks. There is so much uncertainty in hockey picks.
True, but you have to have young, cheap players playing on your team so you can afford veterans. Veterans are all going to get paid more than draft picks, and you have to have young talent. You can't just keep on bringing old guys expect to produce. Never works. Never freaking ever. Certainly not in today's NHL. It doesn't. It's about speed and skill. It's not about plotting and whatever. We can't even get free agents to sign here.
Well, this is why we like the picks. Aaron Ekblad, he probably is not what a first overall pick is, but he's a very solid NHL guy. He's a very solid NHLer, I'd say. Sam Reinhart, he's a very solid NHLer. Leon Draisaitl, fantastic NHLer. Sam Bennett, I'd say he's solid before the injuries occurred.
Really good.
Michael Doug Cole, miserable. Jake Vatanen, he's solid.
Virtanen,
I'm sorry. Hayden Fleury, nothing to write home about. William Nylander,
pretty good.
He's a really solid NHLer. Nikolai Ehlers,
pretty good.
He's a really solid NHLer. Nick Ritchie, I mean, shit, he's more valuable than Michael Doug Cole, but he's a guy who's, he fills a role. Kevin Fiala,
pretty
really
good
solid NHLer.
For a piss hand.
Jacob Rana, like you look at the names, Dylan Larkin. Look at how many of these names you say, oh, wow, Travis Sanheim. Sonny Milano, Tony D'Angelo, Alex Tuck, Robbie Fairby. He's another guy who's there who's a captain. Yeah. Pasternak. Like all in the first round, we get Josh. I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, I mean, like they're like, right, we just picked the wrong guy. Like even around Michael Doug Cole, there's a lot of really successful players. I mean, like you think about it, in the first 11 picks, there may be 2 or 3 guys who didn't pan out. We were saddled with one of those guys. Shit.
And the worst thing was that he couldn't skate. Skating's the most important part. If you can't skate in the juniors, if you have a rep of somebody who's not a good skater in juniors, it's not like you're going to get better in the pros. The skating is so much better.
Uh-oh. Are you telling me that maybe a prospect we might have that doesn't skate well in juniors might not skate well in the pros?
That's what I think.
Oh, no. We had him penciled in to be the next Bobby Hull. Uh-oh. We can't possibly be talking about.
That's all William DeFore should have worked on this whole offseason is skating. Nothing else.
Even freaking guy didn't bring a stick out there. skate.
Power skating.
Day.
Drag a truck behind you. Just dig, go.
Jay Clark said the Islanders need a new general manager's voice.
True.
D-Cut says, fire TJ, hire D-Cut. Always, always.
It's a popular sentiment.
No, you're wrong, grumpy old man. Soto is nobody. Judge owns him. That's right. They both played 5 years. Judge has way more home runs. Absolutely.
And who's got more World Series titles? Thank you. And guess who's not going to win one this year either? Aaron Judge. No way.
Drew L says, Prado give TJ the Steve Jobs no deadline treatment. Just make it random. We'll see if TJ actually does the assignment.
He will not.
Rich A said his crazy thought, something nobody's going to see. Bellows 25 will score 25.
If he played with Matt Barzal, I could see that happening. I'll tell you what, he's a better player. Kiefer Bellows, when you play him up on the first line, is way better than when you play him down.
Drew L says, TJ, that Bailey take is magma hot, like the soon exploding Yellowstone National Park volcano. Hold on, they're going to have a volcano that explodes in Yellowstone.
Who knows?
I couldn't tell you. Don't keep up with that stuff. Mario says, actually, there are a few fans who buy that Lamoriello bullshit.
You can't believe it.
I can think of one in particular. Who's one of the members there that rated R? I don't know who he's talking about. He believes he plays 40 chess. I don't know who that is. I think that people. I think with Lamoriello, I don't think anybody's excited with what Here's the thing.
How could you be excited? He didn't do anything.
I've not talked with anybody who's been excited about that. And right, if you're excited, it's more because I'm excited to see hockey. I'm excited to see my Islanders. I'm excited to see. I don't think anybody is like, I'm excited and happy what Lamoriello did. I do think there are people out there that think that. I'm sure there are. I just never have talked to them. I don't run where I am. I don't run into too many casual Islander fans in the street. It's not necessarily a fan base where it's like, if you're out there in North Dakota, you see too many Islander fans per se. You don't rub shoulders with too many of those in that neck of the woods. But you pretty much got to be on Long Island to run across a lot of Islander fans.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone believing anything he says at this point. I can't.
I think people do. Do it, says Declan. And he'll say, I'll do fantasy hockey, says Drew L. Frank says, I hope Bailey kills it and makes us all look like fools. I don't have a problem being wrong. Neither do I.
Nope.
We should offer Jason Robinson.
I just want to say about Josh Bailey, he's been in the league, how many years now? 13, 14 years. If he hasn't done it by now, he's not going to do it. He is what he is. A substandard cuck who just happens to play for the Islanders.
I think he's like a fine wine.
No, he's like vinegar. He's absolutely like vinegar.
Frank said, I retired from fantasy. I put 20 years in, won 2 money leagues, and engraved a 3-foot cup, baby. Oh, man. And I went out on the top, unlike Zdeno Chara. Oh, goodness gracious. Declan said, Grump, I take U.S. history. Grumpy, you talked about U.S. history, huh?
Yeah, I actually had some U.S. I mean, I know they don't teach. I don't think they teach U.S. history in like regular schools nowadays, do they? Or did the history only start like in 1980? I don't know.
Frank says, nice one there, Frank K, about the history. Love that. And Amari Production says, I just joined. TJ isn't there. Is he taking a piss? I probably was. I probably was. They're going to be really good this year, Grumpy Old Man. I guarantee it.
I hope you're right.
Mario Grumpy has a comment. I'll let you read this.
According to Cervelli, teams are extremely hesitant on Milano given his past issues with concussions. Due to that concern, they are holding back on signing him as they are unsure of whether or not he can remain healthy through the entire course of the season. The 26-year-old has never played more than 70 games in a regular season before, but plenty of that has to also do with the fact that until recently he was often up and down between the NHL and the AHL. Here's the thing. A PTO, it's a professional tryout. That's all.
You don't have to sign them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, hey, we'll give you a tryout. That's all it is.
We're flying you out to New York. We're flying you out to Long Island to go ahead and put on the suit, and we're paying you for the days that you're here, and we're giving you a little bit of an option. If we like you, we'll offer you a contract. If we don't, see you later. But it makes sense why he was only a PTO type of guy and not, hey, I've signed a contract. Mr. B says theme for this year should be finish the job. I like that. Honestly, here's the thing. I like that as like one of those, every year they've got something different. It was always cheesy when it'd be like a blue collar. It'd be so I can't remember. We used to have some real odd ones where it was like they'd always have like a little abbreviations as to why you did it in like blue collar, and they give you like blue collar shirts and shit. Finish the job. I like that for this year. Finish the job.
Okay.
Goon says, how hard will Mr. Cohen pursue Aaron Judge this offseason?
I think whoever signs Aaron Judge is going to be making a monstrous mistake. Tremendous mistake.
He does have a monstrous back, Grumpy.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you figure he's going to go for? 10, 12-year deal? How do you think that's going to work out as he's playing into his 40s? Bigger players in baseball don't last. They just don't. I mean, the holes in their swing get just bigger and bigger and bigger. Again, signing guys to big extensions off of career years in their walk year, it's always a mistake.
It's not the first time he's led the MLB in home runs. Anyway, SP says,
okay, he's never gonna have another Triple Crown year like this year. It's the best year of his career. It's not even close for second.
Maybe he'll be a Hall of Famer, Grumpy. And you know won't? That Juan Soto hack. That freaking hack Soto. SP says, hey guys, what's up? What's up, SP? And TJ, as usual, skipping great comments by the members of Isles Misery Rated R. Grumpy.
He just deletes those.
I do. I lose them all. And Jedi Rusty Spooner says, cohesive bear pitcher equals no sitting, TJ. All rise. LOL. I don't get it still.
Oh, that's for Judge. All rise. That's what they say when Judge. All rise.
Well, I know that, but I still don't get the cohesive bear. No sitting. I don't know. SP said, who's pumped to watch an elite winger, extra attacker, Hall of Famer, with jersey retired, Josh Bailey every night?
That'd be a failure as an organization.
Frank there says, that's right. Hit the thumbs up. Yes. Yes, that's early, but hey, it didn't attract even more maniacs. But yes, hit the thumbs up, guys. Absolutely. Matthew C says, doesn't seem like Lou wants to quit after this year. Oh, God.
He's in his 80s. Enjoy your life. Torture your wife. Just get out of the GM spot. I don't care what you do. Do something else.
SB said, we're not contenders. We're not good enough offensively. Our team on paper is painfully average. The only reason people still think we have a shot is because of our Eastern Conference Finals appearances.
In shortened seasons. I mean, I hate to tell you, and like I said, we mentioned that years ago. The only reason
people still think that the Montreal Canadiens are still in it. Why not? They made it to the finals. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Take away the Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Does anybody think that, we're even an average team on paper?
Well, that's why we played on the field.
That's why we played on the ice.
That's why we play on the ice, because the paper doesn't mean anything. Yeah. That is true, right? Montreal made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, 2 years ago? And everyone considers them an afterthought. But us, somehow, we're going to resurrect the ghost of the past and somehow become a contender. It's just not happening.
You know what I think to myself? We're going to find out this year real quick if what we thought with the team being finished, right? We've been talking about that all offseason long. Is the team finished? Do they have a little bit of magic dust left in that genie bottle? We're going to find out real quick how it transpires. We'll find out this year, Grumpy.
Yeah.
What we've been talking about all last year and all this offseason. We'll find out really quick. Frank says, no more trading first-round picks for 5 years. Agreed, Grumpy old man.
Yes.
SP also said, I just want to watch an interesting team. I don't want to keep justifying that it doesn't matter if we're interesting. It just matters if we win. I want to watch exciting games again. It's been years. I was about to say, what is so tough? As a fan, why can I not want to win and watch an exciting team? They're not mutually exclusive.
True. I mean, okay, when you go to a sporting event, do you just, hey, let's just play good defense and, maybe we'll scratch out a turnover and, get a field goal to win 3-0, or do you like to throw the ball around the field? What's more exciting? Don't you want to be entertained?
No, I like a team that runs the Georgia Tech style offense to where they run a million times and win 14-7. That's what I like watching football wise, Grumpy.
Okay.
Drill said, yeah. Remember that comment? Bent over and fucked. In the words of the grumpy old man. I do remember that. Kungun says, Grumpy, are you up for the challenge of explaining to the young TJ what a pet rock was? I remember he sold them on TV. Yeah. Buy a pet rock. It was literally just like a rock that you got to like play around with and use your imagination. It was just one of those freaking schemes.
Very popular.
Daniel Freeman. What's up, Daniel? He says, then again, you'll never know when they'll actually score. So at least it's suspenseful when and if the Islanders score.
Now that's a positive take.
That is.
The Islanders not being able to score. Hey, 1923 of the third period. That's what I have in the pool.
Oh, I like that. I like that, though. Or maybe shootout. Shootout's the first time a goal is registered. Hey, we're going to be playing more offense this year, which is exciting. That's for certain. Brian J says, do you believe Barzal wants to win a cup? If he does indeed sign a new deal? Just saying, knowing the way the team has been operated. That's a good question.
It is a good. I think he does want to win.
What's more important, the money or the win?
I think it's the win. I think it's the win. I don't think he's. I mean, I realize everyone's he's got a girlfriend and so he's never leaving.
Well, here it is. He's got. Well, it's not only the girlfriend. He's got a Jewish girlfriend. He's not leaving Long Island. That's the important thing. That's what Phil always tells us. He's got the Jewish girlfriend on Long Island.
Well, you know what?
Beach or something.
They have a really high Jewish population down in Miami, Florida. So, I mean, he could always go there. But, I still think personally that he wants to see the direction the team is going before he decides to resign or not. I mean, they can say, yes, I definitely want to be here. That's everything he says. We heard that from somebody else for years, too.
Who did we hear that from?
Some guy. But that's what he was kept on saying year after year after year. Oh, no, I definitely want to be here. This is where I want to be my whole career, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? At the end of the day, he left. And I don't blame Tavares for leaving. And if Matt Barzal leaves, I don't blame him either. I mean, the players have the freedom to become unrestricted free agents in their 27-year-old season. So, you know what? I have no problem with him if he decides to leave. But as a management group, you got to be smart enough. Dude, if you want a contract extension, we're offering it to you here. Yes or no? And if he says no, you move him. Then you're really in rebuild, though. You're really in rebuild.
Grumpy, that makes me a little upset. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. SP said, our system and lineup only mesh if everybody plays defense at all times. No slip-ups, no individual performances. That's how we are built. We can't be too offensive or we won't come close.
True. And that's the biggest issue. Yes, you want a more healthy mix, offense to defense, but the players are all in their 30s. It's not like we have anybody who's, okay, hey, yeah, we're going to be creative out of the zone. Hey, we're going to be racing up and down the wing. It's just not going to happen because, guys, that's not their skill set.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing uncontrollably because somebody, I don't know who this was who sent it to me. It's under like one of those accounts, so they don't have the individual name on it. But somebody
shit.
My DMs. General Manager Loser Shamarillo sent this to me.
Look at that. Damn.
This is why it's not like he cut this up. This is the New York Islanders officially posted this shit.
Oh boy.
Yeah, dude, I tell you, he's got a
his chin is. I mean, here's the thing. He's got a big nose too, but his chin is out further than his nose. Look at it. It almost goes out further than his nose.
It almost looks like he's doing that on purpose. I know he's not, but it almost does. He's one of those guys where if you ran across him in the bar, you're like, I don't want to fucking mess around with this guy. They say some guys have a glass jaw. This son of a bitch looks like
jaw of granite.
I was about to say, this guy's one of these guys. If you run into him at the bar, you say, holy shit, he could take a punch or two. This is not a guy I want to freaking mix it up with. You just look at the way his chin set. It's like he's designed to freaking to fight it out. That's just how he's built.
Not from the hair on my chinny chin chin.
I see, Grumpy. I want to need you to do the side profile. There it is. Anders Lee. Oh, I'm sorry, Grumpy. I thought you were Anders. Oh, goodness gracious. Barzal, Wallstrom, Bellows, and Pavilion will score 25 to 30% more. A real problem was our defense. It sucked. It won't be this year with 2 statues gone and Romanov here, plus our goaltenders. Fair enough there, Frank. JG says, does Ledecky say in Lou we trust?
I think
said it before.
Yeah, I think he actually was caught actually saying that.
Daniel Freeman said, no chance they sign Andy Green. Oh, that's good to know. And Sebastian Aho is an atrocious defenseman. He is.
I'll tell you what, he's better than Dennis.
Oh, here you go, Grumpy. Does Ledecky stick with saying in Lou we trust when he is gone next year?
No.
I hope he's gone next year. It's as simple as that.
So do I.
SP said, this is why I have zero confidence this season. Everybody is a year older, no additional offensive support, and our system can't handle additional offense. The rebuild is going to be hard.
True.
Very hard, I'm sorry.
And I think you saw it in the draft this offseason. Mobile defenseman, a guy who's a scorer, but, not the biggest guy, certainly, a top 6 guy. That's not somebody they've been drafting in recent years. Look at the guys they've been bringing in. Your Lundqvists, who'll never make the team. Your Holmstroms never make the team. Just old grinder types. I think they see the way the NHL is going. And maybe Lamoriello finally said, well, we got one more kick of the can. We might as well start drafting for the future.
Just a few years too late. SP said, I don't have any expectations this season. I don't care if we're competing. I just want to watch an interesting team. That's it. Man, SP is just saying, hey, I want to watch entertaining hockey. As a fan, right? We've been bereft of entertaining hockey for 4 years. We've won, and when you're winning, right, it offsets not being entertaining. So I don't complain. D-Cut says, a Three Amigos shirt, a College Quinn shirt, and the Fire Hydrant shirt.
The Fire Hydrant shirt's pretty good.
And Daniel Freeman said, if they get Yager, they've got to bring Palffy too. I agree. That's a good point.
Let's bring in Brian Smolinski, bring him back. Darius,
I'll leave this up and I got to go again, Grumpy.
Are you kidding me? 3 times in a freaking hour and a half?
Man, I drank the entire container, Grump. It's over 60 ounces.
How is the LAPD?
I have no idea who this is either, so I don't know who this is. Nicole Brown Simpson. Is that OJ Simpson? That's OJ Simpson's wife.
Holy shit.
Hold on a second, I'll be back.
How is the LAPD search going for finding the killer of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman? I remember our pal OJ said that, he would put up his own personal money to find the killers. All he had to do was look in the mirror, of course. Joseph C. said, I read somewhere about Couturier's herniated disc might cost him 8 months if he needs surgery. Ellis's pelvic injury from last year hasn't improved either. If that's the case, Ryan Ellis is done. Really disappointed in Couturier. I like him as a player. John Smith says, what the hell is a hoagie? It's like a hero sandwich. Drew L says, I'm not going to lie. I can see Oswaldo Cabrera becoming an everyday starter soon. He's been hot. Then John says, it's called a hero. Then we have some more Cabrera things, the Hoagie and Grinder question. 80s Grumpy ate Sloppy Joes. I never liked Sloppy Joes because they would you have to eat them really, really fast. Otherwise, you just got like a big lump of shit in your plate. So, no. Brian Jennings says, let's be real here. Why would any player want to sign here? Nobody knows who's going to be the GM. Soon your offensive numbers can only go down, and the aging players all have term. Who in their right mind, Barzal, is going to want to throw their faith in this team's next 5-year future? That's what I think the big issue is with Barzal as well, Brian. Frank from Empire State says, TJ, you're killing me. He doesn't like Swiss cheese. Yeah, he doesn't get it. JG says we call them subs, heroes, yes, whatever. Our Barzal and the Frank also says, Are Barzell and the Islanders talking like I read? I'm sure they talk every day. John Smith says TJ and the Tiny Bladder podcast. Yes. Matthew S says leaky bladder, TJ. Frank says check your prostate. Then he also says I drink a lot of water and pee way less than you. A lot of people ripping TJ and his leaky or weak bladder. Return of the Jedi. Rusty Spooner says, how is TJ pissing more than Grumpy, the young man? Get it together, TJ. Shake my head. Carte blanche. LOL. Frank says, I love the owner in quotes, Jedi. TJ's trickling giblets. A lot of people slamming you for the second pissing of the podcast. Who knows what it's going to be like on the third trip to the bathroom. John Smith says, did you see the side profile picture of Liam Barzell? Yes, we showed that already.
I guess that was probably from before.
10:02, 10:03 is where I'm at. Barzell has wingers Wally and Bo in the mix with Bellows and stick with it. I agree. Then they were comparing Jay Leno to Anders Lee with the big jaw. Very, very true. Jay Clark says, Elliot Friedman on the 32 Thoughts, the podcast, said that Barzell's contract extension, I got a call from someone on Sunday, and they said they think the Islanders and Barzell have begun talking here. He said to me, he thinks they've begun talking about it. I don't know what the likelihood is, but the conversations are underway. I think it was Lou who called him. Thank goodness. Yeah. And then there's another follow-up.
Yes, Clark. I think I saw that I bet the owners are involved. Lou needs to retire now.
True.
Wade Flaherty, Grumpy. He says, Grump, for a guy your age, you're looking good. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, Wade. As nasty as TJ is, thank you.
You know what, Wade? Tell him we need to start getting him back into fighting shape. We need to get the grumpy old man fighting shape. Ugh. He needs to be able to run. He needs to be able to eat lightning and crap thunder. That's what he needs to be able to do, Grumpy. We need you back in fighting shape.
Brian Jennings says, Barzell saying he wants to stay worries me. Didn't work for JT, who was re-signed once. Organization let him down. JT, that led us to believe he was open to re-signing again. Didn't happen. Barzell in the same situation now. I think he may have learned from JT's situation. Why would he believe miraculous change is going to happen? Just saying.
Do you guys remember the 21st night of September? Come on, guys. That's today.
The 21st night of September. Why am I just drawing a blank on this? I bet we talked about something and now we're forgetting.
I can't remember. My brain's fried. I can tell you that much. Yeah, we could have a lot of better players. That's for certain over them. Enjoy your lives, torture your wives at the bar. So I'd never heard that one before. Yeah. Enjoy your life and torture your wife. Oh, that's a good one. I have to tell the lovely Paige that. I'll call her up after the podcast.
That's what I said Lou should do.
Oh, enjoy it. Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy your wife, torture your wife. Okay, fair enough. Oh, bars, just like he's saying bars, like it's a song lyric or something. Gotcha.
Maybe it is.
He said, laugh my ass off. That should be a shirt. Enjoy your life, torture your wife. Grumpy, you honestly, dude, that's the next shirt we're working on. Absolutely. Because that would fit your freaking mantra so well.
True.
Enjoy your life, torture your wife.
True.
Imagine
all the Karens if you walk around wearing that shirt. Oh, I can't believe, really? Oh, your poor wife. Shut up, Karen.
Mary Lord said they still teach history K through 12. Secondly, all of Yellowstone is a caldera of a super volcano. I couldn't even tell you what the hell a caldera is.
They said, I think what they say could happen like in 100. I've seen something on this. It's been a while, so I can't remember the particulars. So I'm not going to delve into too much. But I think it means like something that could happen like in the next, 100-something years. It's not like something, oh man, it's on, eruption watch now.
John Smith said that was me. Okay, good to know, John. Hey, leave Lee's face alone. I tell you, he's got a huge chin, man. It's not somebody you want to mess around with. I'll tell you that much. He doesn't give some people's like, oh yeah, I joke around with him. I kind of mess around. It's not a guy you mess around with. Drell said, I forget, were the 2 players we got for Devontae's Ratu and Odelius? Yes, they were. But again, if people use that to be like, oh, those are the 2 picks we had.
Okay, but who are the guys we gave up to get Palmieri, Pajot, all those other guys that we.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Andy Green, who are the guys that we
I'll
didn't
pull it
get?
up as we're doing this, Grumpy. Here you go. Brian J's got a comment for you.
I have no confidence this organization can choose a good general manager replacement. Are there the right people in place to make this decision? Well, that's the thing about ownership, right? They probably, go to Bettman and say, this is where we want the team to be. We want a new direction. We want to fit with the modern NHL. Go to Bettman. He'll tell them what to do. Oh, these are the teams you want to look at, maybe their assistants. There are a lot of guys out there. All I have to do is just do a modicum of a search to wind up coming up with somebody that can be better than Lamoriello. Just Lamoriello's finished. And it's not a slam against Lou Lamoriello, honestly. It's not. It's just the fact that, he's 80 years old. Time to move on from him. Matthew S. is JFC.
Jesus freaking Christ. TJ.
I know what it means. Leaky bladder.
TJ pisses more every time I hear Macklemore says piss at thrift shop, and used to listen to that song a ton. D-Cut says, TJ, I sent you the Lee interview. I sent you a watch gross. Hold on a second. Did he send this on? I'll have to do that research afterwards, Grumpy, and see what players we gave up when we traded for guys. The fantastic Andy Green.
And they probably haven't, most of them probably haven't panned out yet because, they're still young players.
Yep, 2020 draft. And let's listen to this. This ought to be good.
I think anything like that, anytime that something like that happens, it's always a bit of a shock. And, Barry was obviously so good.
Hold on a second. You know what makes this entire clip funnier, Grumpy? When I put this up, you see Anders Lee in the background. All you see is Angie Gross chomping away on this fucking gum.
You know who he looks like a little bit?
Who is that?
He looks like Victor French, who was on the TV show Highway to Heaven back in the 80s with Michael Landon. And also in Little House on the Prairie. That's who Andrew Gross looks like a little bit.
Couldn't even tell you who that is. Grumpy.
Pull up a picture of Victor French, Highway to Heaven, and tell me they don't look very, very similar.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Pop it up. Let's see.
I used to have a college professor who looked a little bit like this guy. Let's pull this guy up here.
He was always wearing his Oakland A's cap in that show. They look very similar. Take the glasses off. They're almost identical. Identical. What movie is that from?
He looks a little bit like a guy on the left, doesn't he?
Well, actually, for me, it's the guy on the right.
No, I think he looks a little bit like the guy on the left.
Maybe not.
No, he looks exactly like the guy on the left. Andrew Gross does, wouldn't you say?
Like I said, your job on this show is not to be funny because it's an epic fail for you.
It's an epic fail, is it?
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. No, I'm gonna fucking swerve wherever the hell I want, Grump. You're gonna get over it.
Yeah, I think anything like that, anytime that something like that happens, it's always a bit of a shock. And, Barry was obviously so good to us.
Look at him. Look at the smile on his face. He's supposed to be like just a reporter.
Got us into a position where we were close.
Where's his other hand?
Now it's
there it is.
Transitioning to Lane. I think it's a great opportunity for everyone here and for Lane. I know he's been looking forward to this opportunity, I'm sure. And,
Anders Lee does have a nice set of hair. I will tell you that much.
I think just having that familiarity off the bat, it's really nice. We've all played for Lane, and
we're in the echo zone.
He knows our group, so he's gonna be
motherfucker. I told you I'm not gonna be able to get the echo zone fixed just quite yet.
It stopped.
What do you mean it stopped?
It wasn't echoing when you hit the.
Let me try this. I'm gonna see if it works. Let me try this and tell me if this does anything.
Be able to get out of us what he needs, and and we'll know where he's coming from right off the start.
You guys obviously had success under Barry in the way he played, and maybe it was a little bit shorter period of time with the COVID and whatnot. Was it a little bit tougher to play the way he wanted you to play throughout the course of last season with the condensed schedule?
Bro, I'm not going to be able to fix the echo just quite yet. I'll have to look at it later, man. Sorry. I can't fix the echo right now. Hold on. Let me try this.
You know what? I think looking – we're at a point now where we're looking forward, but if you were to go back to last season, I think when we needed to play well, we didn't. At the end of the day, you have to perform, and there were times and moments where we didn't do that, and we put ourselves behind the 8 ball too early in the year, and we were just chasing for a long period of time. So I don't think that style of play is the reason why. I think we didn't perform when we needed to.
There's obviously a connection with Lane. You've worked with him for 4 years, but when he transitions to being the head coach, is it
Okay. Was there still echo with that or no? The echo gone?
It went here, it came and went, and then came back again.
Okay.
Long story short, I don't like the fact that he was smiling, looking at Anders Lee like he wanted to give him a handy under the table.
Stop.
That's what it looked like to me. He's like, oh.
You're freaking ridiculous. You're ridiculous. The 21st of the night of September, a classic
No.
from dude. Okay. Somebody kept telling me, he's like, he was telling me at work, he's like, the 28th of September. And he kept saying of September. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Or maybe he said that. And I'm like, okay, it's a song. He kept telling me that shit at work. And I was like, what is this guy talking about?
I'm going to tell you what, Earth, Wind, and Fire, a really underrated band from the 70s. They were good.
Oh man. Okay. So this now makes sense. He kept telling me that multiple times, like I was supposed to pick up on something. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And here I am just not knowing a pop culture reference. Mrs. Brown, My Little Brownie has saved me. So now I could be like, if he does that thing again.
They were really good. They were really good. Disco band. Just but good stuff back in the 70s.
Grumpy, can you sing this song in September? Can you sing that song for us?
I cannot sing that good. I can't sing that song.
Can you whistle it for us, Grumpy?
No. Next comment.
Brian J said, TJ, can you piss your whole name in the snow? LOL. Yeah, I could do that. It's not too long. It's good. Wait, Flaherty said Andrew Gross is a creep. He asked me for a ride home once after I told him that his car broke down. You won't take no for an answer either. I had to pepper spray him. Yeah, sure you did. I'm sure you did. No. Here's the guy looks nice enough. I've never met him. I couldn't. He looks nice enough. You said it was weird that he was smiling. He just looks like a happy guy.
He was a little bit too happy.
What's wrong with being happy?
Hi, Anders.
He loves his job. He loves his job, Grump.
Anders. How can I help you? I haven't seen you in a while. I missed you.
Stop. Grumpy, maybe he's happy too to be back doing the thing he loves.
I'm happy for him.
I am too.
He just looked a little weird. Just too much smiling there.
I actually was happy looking at how much he's got a nice smile.
Okay. He didn't even ask the question. He was just listening to him talk to someone else answer a question. It's like he's got a crush on him.
Oh, stop. Drew L said, well, TJ, I can tell you our second round pick we gave up in Pajot has played 8 games in the NHL last season. Okay, well, there we go. We'll have to do
Our
some
guys
research.
have played none.
John Smith said, what is a set of hair? He's got a nice head of hair. Nice head of hair, whatever you want to call it. Vinny L said, lame Lamoriello or lame Lou has done nothing. Getting Trotz. Yeah, the Caps weren't re-signing him.
Yeah, but that was still a good deal. That was the best movie he's made.
Matthew has said, sheesh, chewing gum during an interview. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that either, but whatever. Grump, give us some my way.
Lou said, I'm doing it my way.
There you go.
Regrets, I don't have any. I drove up the price on every free agent when no one's going to sign here. And that's okay because I'm going to do it my way. I got Fredo waiting in the wings to take my spot, even when it stings. And let the record show I won 4 cups. Just listen to Ledecky. He's got the smarts. All right, that's it.
I liked it, Grumpy. Vinny L said Lou got lucky with Boychuk going on long-term injury. Overrated general manager, not even close.
Not even
Good
close.
story.
Not even close.
Bowman, Scotty Bowman.
Not even close. Not even close. Now, that being said, there was no free agency when those guys were GMs either.
And Drew L said, and the first rounder that we gave up for in the Pajot trade just put up 63 points in 35 games in the queue and is now in the AHL. Probably going to be an NHLer very soon. And D-Cut says, open up the phone line Saturday, TJ. The fans want to hear D-Cut. Maybe. My Little Brownie says, if we can't get players from within the league, our players, from other leagues out of the question. There's got to be one or two goal scorers out there.
There were. We decided not to sign them. Just drive up prices on them.
Oh, God. Man, are we, man, Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up today?
I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening to the show. We'll see you guys here this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we'll see you before then. We're going to see you at TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Can be found in the link in the description below. Can be found as a featured page on our YouTube channel. Again, we talk all things sports on that show. It'll be tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk all things sports, NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, college athletics, and European football. We're going to talk anything and everything sports. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content today. And thank you again, Grumpy Old Man.
My pleasure.